Good morning, Daybreak watchers. We're going to get going in about 20 seconds here.
Nightlight with Pete and Greg.
Coming up on the show, we talk to Rebecca Petrowski about death cafes, and Paul Vandenplas discuss the best burgers in Wisconsin. Join us.
Weekday evenings on the Civic Media Network from 5 to 7.
Good morning!
Morning. Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning. We've talked the whole night through.
Good morning.
Good morning to you.
This is where Wisconsin wakes up. It's Daybreak with Brian Noonan and Jamie Martinson. Here are your hosts, Brian and Jamie.
Well, not quite. Good morning, everybody. Welcome to this edition of Daybreak, a Monday. Last Monday of March. I don't know why that's important. It just seems very final because March leads to April, and April leads to, I don't know, more fun and frivolity. I'm Brian Noonan. We're glad to have you here. Jamie is out today. She is ill. My intrepid team of producers, Frank and Parker, are here, and they will be picking up the slack. Is that true, guys? You're going to pick up the slack? No, you're just here?
We're more of a peanut gallery than anything.
That's true.
I like to have, I need a sounding board because talking to myself, one, gets redundant, and two, it is boring, not only for me, but for everybody listening. But 855-75-CIVIC could remedy that. If you call that number or you text that number, then you're involved in the show, and you get to participate. You get to be the sounding board, the peanut gallery, the contributor, the associate producer, as it were. All those things, but do that. Hopefully everybody had a good weekend. We're going to talk more about the No Kings protests in a little while, but man, oh man, the numbers around the country and around the world, huge for No Kings. Frank, you were busy unpacking, so did you march? Did you go out of the house?
My wife was really upset about it. I had some family come in. We did some last second cleaning at the old apartment. We have to get that ready to hand the keys off and whatnot.
Have you ever not gotten a cleaning deposit back? I never have. In all the places I rented over my life, I've always
You've always gotten it back?
Yeah. Because I'm scary.
I think the only time that I truly rented an apartment was in college. And I did not see a penny back.
College landlords, though, that's a different story. College landlords
that's true slumlord.
Yes, they're vipers. They're parasites.
If they see a scrape on the wall, you're not getting a penny back. Parker, did you get
Parker,
your deposit back?
You're the most recent.
I am the most recent. I was actually in university housing the whole way through, but it was like an apartment style.
Doesn't surprise me.
Thank you, Frank. I'm not sure what to think of that.
Parker, I'm going to make this confession too. I was as well.
You were in dorms your entire college career?
Yeah, I loved it because it was right across the street from the radio station, the communications building.
I mean, that's a good spot.
Yeah. No, I was off campus.
Hold on. Didn't you feel like Big Brother was always watching?
No, I did whatever I wanted.
You didn't care?
Everyone in the place was of age. We all had our own rooms because it was an apartment style. It was fine.
Parker's I get.
Yeah, I was in a big 2-person room with a private bathroom and very small building. So it was about the size of a frat house, actually. There were only 100 guys in this dorm. So it wasn't a big tower or anything. It was a small building. And it just, being the oldest in my family, I didn't know, I didn't have the rundown of, you should move out. And most of the guys I hung out with stayed in the dorm all 4 years too. And it was not because we were nerds, no, Parker, don't hit the nerd button.
Hit it.
Oh,
Do it.
Come on,
Do
Brian.
it.
Come on.
You'd
Go
be wrong.
outside, nerd.
Nobody needs your interjections. No, it was, I broke all the rules. I had fun. I'm not going to apologize for it. It was easy. I had friends who moved off campus, and then when I saw where they were living, I was like, ew, this is gross.
That's the thing. You never find a college house that you're exactly thrilled to be inside of.
No.
No, I had a great college house.
Really?
Yeah, it looked like a regular, like, new build house. It
Okay,
wasn't
you
the
went to an
best
actual
inside, but I mean, we were, let's see, 1, 2. It was like a 4-bedroom, 2 full bath house.
Nice.
Wow.
Upstairs and
Good you,
downstairs. It was great. We just didn't get our security deposit back. But one quick thing, Brian.
Yes,
Did you say, was it an all-male living facility?
it was.
Oof.
Right across the street from the ladies. There was
my dad had
plenty.
that.
Look,
There was plenty of. I had gone to an all boys high school, Frank, until the last 2
God.
years. I went to
God.
St. Ignatius in Chicago, which until my
Flex.
junior year was. Yeah, you're right. It is a flex. If you know, you know, Parker. Yeah, we were all boys until my junior year. Trust me. And here's the old man trying to sound cool flex.
Yeah, I was going to say,
I
here,
didn't have.
let's have
Get
it.
ready. Get ready
Yeah.
for Grandpa's reminiscence. I had no problems with the ladies in college.
Oh, sure.
Uh-huh.
Brian, you heard it here, folks. Brian Noonan had game, still has it.
Brian Noonan, swordsman extraordinaire.
But all that to say, no, I did not march, and we were really upset that we
yeah.
couldn't join everybody.
How did we end up getting to that from that? But all right. Now we're gonna do a little more sports today because Jamie's not here, but only a little. We don't worry. We're gonna get to all the politics, and we got Chris Taylor, the Supreme Court candidate, is going to join us later. We're going to talk to the communications director from Emily's List, which is all about promoting Democratic pro-life female candidates. We're gonna talk about that and so much more. So we're going to get to it. We're just I didn't watch much March Madness this weekend, but I watched the last 10 minutes of Duke UConn, and I couldn't have been more excited that UConn won. That was an unbelievable end to the game. Did you guys see it?
I saw the end to it. I didn't watch the whole game.
I didn't
but-
watch the whole game either. I don't need to watch the whole game.
No.
I need to watch the last 5.
Brian, let me ask you, is anybody ever upset when Duke loses in the tournament?
I don't believe. Well, only the people who always pick them to be to win their bracket.
Which is usually me.
Yeah,
I've gotten
see,
burned
I'm
so
also
many
guilty of
times.
this.
I've gotten burned on Duke in years past as well. But I have no skin in the game this time. This is the first year in a long time I didn't do a bracket, so I was just into it to see the game, and then of course I was like, oh, I hope UConn wins, because when I tuned in, UConn was way behind. And then suddenly they kept chipping away, and that last minute and a half was great. And then, Duke gets it with 0.4 of a second. And Parker, do you know why they added the extra 1/10 of a second? I don't, because it was 0.3 of a second when UConn took the lead, and then all of a sudden somebody big ref decided they were going to give Duke an extra 1/10 of a second.
Big,
I mean,
big
I think
college
it's all-
officiating stepped
Big
in.
NCAA stepped
Oh,
in.
yeah. It's all rigged in favor
Yep.
of Duke. A buddy of mine is an Illinois fan, and I texted him immediately after Illinois got into the Final Four. I said, have a good time playing against a rigged game in favor of Duke in the Final Four. I've been there. Have a good time.
So it was unbelievable, that ending. And when UConn tipped the inbound pass away and it was over, I was like, oh, that's very nice. So we've got the Final Four set up for next week. It is Arizona, Michigan, and then UConn, Illinois. Parker, a Big Ten team, couple Big Ten teams.
Couple Big Tens. Yeah.
Yeah,
Not
picking-
your Big Ten team. How do you
Not
feel
my-
about that?
Believe me, I'm well aware it's not my Big Ten team. We are 3-1, by the way, against the Final Four teams. Wisconsin was.
Hey, congratulations.
Those wins
I
came at
know.
the wrong time, didn't they?
Hang the
I'm
banner, Parker.
Well aware.
Put it in the
yes.
rafters.
No, we're not PJ Fleck. We don't need to hang a banner for it.
All right, so
No.
is it going to come down to Big
I think-
Ten National
I think
Championship?
Michigan. I don't know about both teams, but I think Michigan. Frank, and I know
Michigan.
that's your team.
Michigan against Tennessee, Brian. I don't know if you saw the final score.
I saw it
Belt
was
to
a
ass.
routing.
Michael Irvin would have been out there with his belt,
Yeah, that was
smacking the wall,
Going crazy.
going crazy.
Tennessee took a beating, a good old fashioned beating. All right, you guys are lucky. Your parents are younger. This is I want to talk. If people are out there in this situation, 855-75-CIVIC, 855-752-4842, because you get to a certain point in your life where you become your parents' caretaker, and it is not fun. I'm going to be honest. I do my best. I am not of the caretaker variety. I would have made a horrible nurse. I am more of a problem solver. I like to try, and I think a lot of guys are like this, where I see the problem and I'm trying to fix it. And health and age, you can't fix. You can try to fix the things that surround it, but man, oh man, you can't fix the core problem. And I am not, I've gotten better, but I am not cut out for the nurturing kind of
Your
background.
bedside manner's not great.
My bedside manner is not great, Frank. That is a perfect way to put it. I have gotten better with my bedside manner, and I keep saying that just so I can convince myself that I have. But I have backup on that from my wife, who goes, "Oh, you've gotten much more patient," which is good, because my mom is in the hospital again. She's still in.
Mm-hmm.
She went in Thursday night, and it may be something like what Jamie has. They thought she had fluid on her lungs and the whole thing. It turns out it was just not just, but it was caused by a virus. So that's good news. Mm-hmm. The bad news is when you get to a certain age, even being in a hospital for 12 hours really screws you up. My mom is confused. She's a little confused anyway, but that's just, she's always been confused a little bit. It's not that, but you get to a certain age and you're in the hospital all of a sudden, and you're in a chair or you're in the bed, and then your physical abilities decrease quickly when you get to that age. So she has physical therapy a couple times a week she lives in assisted living. Mm-hmm. And I talk to the physical therapist every week, and she's doing great and da-da-da. And I've seen her work with the physical therapist there, and she gets up out of her chair. She moves around. She's doing great. Last Sunday, she decides she's going to walk by herself instead of using her walker. I get a call. Your mom fell. Oh, great. But she's okay. It was just a little, no need. Then Thursday night, I get the call. She's back in the hospital. And I get to the hospital, and the first thing I wanted to say was, "What the hell happened the other day? What are you walking around without your walker for?" Right. But I didn't. So that's progress.
Even though you would have been well within your right to.
Yes, but at some point now she's in the hospital because she's having trouble breathing. She doesn't want to hear about something that happened a few days ago. So I
can't bring it up.
So I can't bring it up. I'm like, all right, she didn't get hurt that time. Well, now she's in the hospital. And we'll see what happens. But I'm hoping she gets discharged today. We'll see what happens. But it's a strange shift, and someday, Lord willing, your parents will live long enough for you guys to get to this point where you have to take over. And I don't know the sibling situation. I have 4 brothers who do nothing. Most of them don't live around here, but so it's
lucky you.
Well, yeah. But it's just a weird thing, and it's a weird adjustment to make. And I just keep thinking, I'm going to be miserable when Molly has to take care of me. She's not going to enjoy this at all.
Yeah, you're not going to be stubborn at all.
No, I'm trying to learn a lesson now. I'll probably forget it by that time I need it.
100%.
But that I will be very accepting and go with the flow and reverse the entire tide of my life in my
Brian's
final
going to be grabbing the car keys when he can't see.
I'm going to be smacking people with my cane, all of that. Hey, let's throw some flowers at UW Badger hockey. We're going to talk about that for a little bit after this. And again, you can always get involved, 855-75-CIVIC, 855-752-4842. Don't worry, there's plenty of news coming up on this edition of Daybreak on the Civic Media Network.
All right.
First segment down.
This is so weird to only have to mute the one, not 2.
Mute us all.
Yeah. All right. What do we got? Badgers?
Yeah, we're going to talk a little men's hockey after a shout out to the ladies.
Roll badge.
Is that a saying? Do people say roll badge?
Some people say
Roll
roll badge.
badge?
I'm not a huge fan of that one.
Yeah, I'm
Really?
not-
I don't
I don't think it works.
No.
It sounds too much like vag.
Ew.
Yeah, ew. That's what I've said. Ew.
You
Ew.
were... Nope. Never mind.
Ew.
I think it's Wisconsin trying to have something that's more normal sounding than on Wisconsin.
But that's like
So
your thing.
roll vag sounds more normal
No,
than
badge.
Roll
It's
badge.
badge.
Oh, badge. Sorry.
You know, Alabama's pretty good at stuff. Let's take their thing.
And Tulane does roll wave. Yeah, Alabama roll
Everybody's
tide.
got to roll.
What do badgers do? They root, they dig, they chew, they fight.
That's true. They're ferocious.
Fight on, badgers. Ferocious, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Come on, man. Come on, man.
Come on.
I'm feeling the weight of our Chris Taylor interview in a good way.
I was going to say you should.
I do.
Be
Don't
excited.
screw it up.
Oh, I won't. I'm going to start out human. I got a pretty good, I think my first question is hard hitting, but in a nice way.
Courteous, hard-hitting question.
It is a courteous, hard-hitting question. It's a big picture question. It's not a pinpoint on her question. It's a.
Broad. We got 10 seconds here.
Did you just call her a broad?
Across the state of Wisconsin, Daybreak with Brian and Jamie is back.
Good morning and welcome. Jamie is out today, but I'm Brian Noonan. I'll hold down the fort with the help of my production associates and team members and sounding boards, Frank and Parker. And Parker's here all the time. Frank is always here because you know he does a swipe or stay, which will come up at 7:20 as it does every morning. But he is on camera with us today just because, you know, I like to see another face. Now that I'm used to working with Jamie, I can't. Being alone is scary. Thank you, boys.
You'd have a hard time staring at just yourself on the screen, wouldn't you?
I am very narcissistic, Parker. So looking at myself on screen is not a hard thing. I'm like,
Well, that's
man,
why we
you
were
look
like,
pretty
oh,
good this
Brian-
morning.
Brian probably loved to do this.
No, it's funny. I've done shows by myself pretty much my whole career, but when you work with, and I've worked with co-hosts before, and it's much nicer to have a conversation than a monologue. Because, and speaking of conversation, why don't you get involved? 855-75-CIVIC, 855-752-4842. We don't talk a lot of sports here. We talked a lot of Brewers opening day and how they were going to beat the White Sox, and they did 3 in a row. So congratulations to the Brewers. And, well, Frank, it's going to be another long season for Daddy on the South Side.
Yeah, we kind of figured that one. Hey,
Yeah.
but you know what? Those are the expectations.
Yes. So when
You-
expectations are low,
You know to not get your hopes up. You
Oh,
got
right.
excited for opening day. You got to see
Yeah.
and hear the sound of the crack of the bat. And you had a
And-
hot dog and a beer, and that's fine. And
and
that's
Thursday's
what
home opener is going to be rainy and cold and miserable to set the stage
As
for
is
the rest of
tradition.
the season. Yes. But such is not the case. Right up the street from our studio, our flagship, where the UW Badgers hockey program is dominant, to say the least. We followed the ladies in their Olympic quest where so many, I think, 11 Badger women were on the national team, and they won the gold medal, which was terrific. And then the UW women's hockey team went on to capture the national championship. So the ladies are dominating, getting it done on the ice at UW-Madison. Well, now, gentlemen, and I know you are excited about this as big hockey fans. Frank, even though your hockey fandom does
allegedly
come
a
into question.
casual.
Yeah.
Yep.
Casual hockey
Casual
fan.
hockey fan. Yeah.
But even a casual fan gets excited when it comes down to the big time, and the men are on a roll because after Saturday's incredible ending in Worcester, Mass, They are now heading to the Frozen Four. Parker, this is big news.
It is. It was very fun to watch. I'm
They-
excited about this.
Yes, 2 goals in the final period against Michigan State. Sparty could not hold up his end of the bargain, so the Badgers got to roll badge. Is that what the
Yes.
kids say?
Some of the kids say roll badge instead
Some
of
of the
on
kids
Wisconsin.
need to
I
be
hate it.
I don't
smacked
love it,
on the yeah, no,
but
it's
yeah,
roll badge.
It is what it is. I don't know.
It's either you're tackling police officers or it rhymes with something filthy. It just
Oh.
doesn't. It's not good. It doesn't roll off the tongue. Maybe
Uh,
there's a. All right, here we'll throw this out too.
Chad
and then
says on Wisconsin. Thank you,
Yeah.
There you
Chad.
go.
That's really
Yeah.
what it is.
That's what it
on
should
Wisconsin.
Be. Yeah.
Also,
That's- yeah.
Brian, I want to throw this out there.
Please
So
do.
Our first team bonding outing was a Wisconsin against
Yes.
Michigan State hockey game.
That's right. And Michigan State lost or won that game.
Michigan State
Yeah,
won
they
that
kinda
game.
whooped
So
us.
it's kind of
They-
cool to see them actually have that comeback moment.
Yeah, it was. People are saying, and I don't say that the same way the administration does, that this may be a big memory in Wisconsin men's hockey lore down the road. That this is a turning point moment. So we'll see. Less than 5.5 minutes to play. Wisconsin went from maybe seeing their season end to getting to the Frozen Four for the first time since 2010. Correct me if I'm wrong. That's 16 years, if I do the math right.
Yep.
Senior defenseman Ben Dexheimer recorded a team-high 4th game winner of the season on a shot fired from just outside the zone. And the Badgers, who were the 3rd seed, became the first team to bounce a number 1 seed from the tournament. A Cinderella story, as it were. Is that enough of a Cinderella? 3rd seed to beat the 1st seed? We're gonna say yes.
Sure. Okay. Yeah.
Listen, if they could say "Go Badge," I can call it a Cinderella story. I think
do
Cinderella
whatever you
story
want.
sounds much better than "Go Badge." That's I'm never gonna not hate that. And I just heard it 5 minutes ago, and now it has become the
Parker
bane of
dropping
my
slang
existence.
on us.
Yeah, did you make that up, Parker? Was this?
No.
Are you like
Could you
trying to
imagine
make
if that
this-
was only like in the Olsen household?
Yeah,
That'd be
this is
crazy.
like the fetch
Parker's
of
trying
hockey.
to make it think. Yeah, he's trying to make fetch happen.
It's
Yeah,
not gonna
trying to
happen.
make
Go
the
Badge
thing.
is not gonna happen,
No.
Parker. It's
Roll
never
Badge.
gonna happen.
Now, Parker, here's my question to you. Do you think they have a shot against North Dakota? And every team in the Frozen Four is a blue blood hockey program. You got Michigan taking on Denver,
Yeah.
and then you've got Wisconsin against North Dakota. So, I mean, this is a rough climb to a national championship, but what are your hopes looking like as a Badger fan?
I mean, my hopes are pretty good. You saw the Badgers be pretty good throughout the year. They kind of had like blips of being bad, a lot of blips of being bad. It's been kind
As
of
is tradition.
Yeah, it's been a very strange couple of years, I think, for the Badgers because they tend to beat really good teams like fairly regularly, but then don't do well against the teams they should beat pretty often. This time around, I'm feeling pretty good, I think. I don't know. I love to harp on the old like WCHA rivalry, Wisconsin, North Dakota, but I don't really know that any of these guys know anything about that. So that might do absolutely nothing to move the needles for the players.
That's kind of Packers Bears at this point too.
Yeah.
Old timey rivalry.
Yeah,
Speaking
they
of
hate
North
each other,
Dakota, that's where Jonathan Taves, former captain of the
Yeah.
Blackhawks, played hockey, and he threw out the first pitch the other day. Frank.
It was yesterday, actually, because
Yesterday.
I know that because all weekend I told my wife, I said, we should go to the game Sunday. It's going to be nice out. The
Yeah.
tickets are cheap. We could have sat like behind home plate a couple rows up for like, I think $60 a ticket. And
That's
she
not
said,
bad.
no. And then Jonathan Taves threw out the first pitch. I was pissed.
Oh,
Oh,
awful.
That's my luck.
Awful. All right, here's our question. When we come back, we're going to talk about No Kings. So, did you attend a No Kings rally somewhere in Wisconsin or anywhere? And what was your experience like? We'll talk about what happened over the weekend. This is Daybreak. I'm Brian Noonan on the Civic Media Network. All right. All the sporty sport talk is done.
Sports.
Sports and sports.
sports ball. Baseball. Basketball. I was mad, very, very mad last night about ESPN doesn't have Sunday Night Baseball anymore.
Who has
Okay.
it?
It's on Peacock.
Oh,
it's NBC.
Yeah. I don't think it goes on to NBC until like June.
What else
How
do they
long-
have going on? Is it NBA?
I
So
think
NBC
so.
has the NBA
pretty sure.
again, right?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it was NBA because I think I read that it like depends on what the NBA schedule looks like for I think in May.
Yeah. Because they used to have hockey, and I know it's now they basically swapped
Mm-hmm.
with the NBA. Although, God, I miss NBC's coverage of the NHL. It was so much better. I think TNT's pretty good, but ESPN's is just awful.
ESPN is big for its britches, I think.
That's why I didn't understand them moving into the hockey sphere, because why? None of your people have ever cared about it. You had Barry Melrose and John Buccigross, and that was about it. And you just march them out there on TV whenever either the Frozen Four was happening or the Stanley Cup Finals are happening. And now it's like, yeah, let's get PK Subban and Mark Messier to sit at a desk with Steve Levy, and I just feel like it doesn't work.
I don't know, man.
That's my rant for today. Sorry.
I
It's
love
a
it.
good rant. I like it.
I'll have more. Can we just have the airing of grievances?
Oh,
We have an open spot.
Yeah.
We could always make an open
We're gonna
spot. I
air
don't
grievances.
care. Yeah, just air grievances. I got a few. I got problems with you people.
As long as we don't do the feats of strength.
Well, I'm not driving to either of you to do it. So
Yeah, me either.
Excellent.
Jamie's probably laying on in her bed
Well,
trying
you
to
know
get some.
she's listening. She's
Getting, I know. Oh, you know
I
it.
could save the show.
She's getting some rest. Her phone's ringing off the hook. Why are they airing grievances? What is this?
Well,
Who let them do this?
Aaron can yell at us Wednesday.
Thursday.
Is it Thursday?
It's Thursday.
It's Thursday. I have it. Well, he can yell at us Wednesday too.
Yeah, I don't care.
Yeah, no, you can yell at me every day. Oh no, I have it on Thursday on my calendar.
I don't have it in mine. Am I invited to this?
I don't think you're invited, but you're gonna be.
Yeah, you're coming.
I'm not. Yeah,
Yeah,
you don't get out of this.
There's only four of us.
Yeah.
We all have to be
You're
there.
not getting out of this.
Okay.
No.
Hey, don't take this as I'm trying to get out of it.
No,
take
if-
this as I can't believe I'm not in this.
No, if we have to sit there and get critiqued, we're
Yeah.
not gonna let you go home and take a nap while that's going on.
No, you guys get critiqued and tell me how perfect I am.
No.
later, okay.
I'm sorry. What?
Hmm?
I'm paying attention. I was just in awe of that.
Of what you just said.
What that
That
whole thing
malarkey.
was. Your gibberish.
At
that
no
you spouted.
point in your rambling, incoherent response
Yes.
were you even close to anything that could be considered a rational thought.
Exactly.
All right. Yeah. 15 seconds.
All righty.
Want to join in on the conversation? Call or text 855-75-CIVIC. Now back to Brian and Jamie.
Good morning. It's Monday. We're glad you're here. Jamie is out today. She's a little bit under the weather. Hopefully, she will be joining us again tomorrow. I'm Brian Noonan. I will be holding down the fort as much as possible, and I want your help to do it because This weekend, Saturday, was the big No Kings rally. So if you went to one of the protests, if you were out there, I want to know where you went, how it was, what the turnout was like, because there's a lot of news about it. But I'd like to hear firsthand from you guys. There were more than 60 No Kings protests throughout Wisconsin, including Appleton, Brown Deer, West Bend, Greenfield, Brookfield. In Oshkosh, local organizers told a crowd of hundreds that they were the guardrails of democracy. And I will say, there's something about seeing all these people. Now, I didn't go. Unfortunately, I did not get to go to my usual place to protest on Saturday because I was taking care, if you were here earlier, I was talking about having to take care of my ma. So I was I was there, but I was wearing my No Kings sweatshirt. My wife was wearing a different type of No Kings. Mine is just the one with the crown and the big red X. So you don't really have to read words. You just see, I got the simplest message for my sweatshirt. But I was wearing that, and we were driving into different places, different little towns around the Chicago area, and there were protests in all of them. So then you see the pictures coming in from Minneapolis, obviously was the focal point with Bruce Springsteen and Bernie Sanders and Tim Walz and Joan Baez, who one of the news anchors called Joan Bose. I was like, boy, you are really out of touch. And thankfully, that's how I know you guys were not producing that morning newscast, because you would have quickly chided me if I said Joan Bose is going to be singing some songs at the rally.
Who? If you said Joan Bose, I think we'd just pack it up.
All right, yeah, I'd be done, right? That'd be it.
Yeah,
the show'd be over.
Now,
Parker wouldn't know I made a mistake, but you would, Frank, and you would let me know.
I don't know who this is.
You don't know who Joan Baez is? Look it up, Parker. You are so young. It's okay. You're young. She was a big protest singer back in the day. That's all right. In Madison, they said 10,000 people marched around the state capitol, which is great. Green Bay had about 1,500 demonstrators, but this was, by all accounts, the largest public protest in U.S. history, which is terrific. They were protesting everything from the war to Donald Trump's actions, the ICE raids. Everything was being protested. And the message was not only in this country, it was worldwide. And you would hope that somebody'd pay attention. But I'm sure the protest fell on deaf ears, not death ears, but you never know. It's I don't know. The Republicans said we've all got Trump derangement syndrome, and this was just a big therapy session. And but what are you going to do? So anyway, there were Bruce Springsteen headlined the big Minnesota rally, which was at thousands of people were there. People rallied in New York City, where 8.5 million residents all across New York. Then fewer than 12,000, or this is interesting. Diggs, Idaho, small town. It's only got 2,000 people in this town, and there were hundreds of people there. And that's a state that Trump carried with 66% of the vote. So from big cities to small towns, everybody was out. Where were you? What were you doing? Now I've done these before. And it sounded like Frank has done this before. Chad jumps in on our YouTube stream, says Marinette had about 400 to 500 people. It was the largest we've ever sent. So shout out to Marinette. Very good. John says good turnout in Oshkosh. One moron drove his Trump ICE flag adorned truck up and down the road, flipping the middle finger. Poor guy needs a hug. You know what, John? You're right. Those guys are at every protest. They're driving by, they're flipping people off. And what I saw in the 2 times that I was out there, and what I saw when I was driving by protests and honking on Saturday and waving, was that people who are protesting this don't return the favor. We're not screaming and yelling. We're not flipping the people who flipped us off. We're not flipping them off. Alicia chimes in on social media. I was at Appleton's No Kings March. They estimated about 4,000. Oh, Fox Valley bringing it home. Excellent. Diana says she attended in Janesville. Great turnout. My favorite sign simply was "End this administration." I like a simple message. I always enjoy the really funny signs, and I enjoyed there are a lot of footage of the people in the inflatable costumes, whether it's the inflatable Trump baby or the inflatable unicorns, or the last one I was at, there was a trio of dinosaurs. I don't know what dinosaurs have to do with protesting No Kings, but maybe we want to get bombed back to the Stone Age. I don't know what it is, but I enjoyed it. I enjoyed seeing the dinosaurs roaming around. So there were more than 3,100 events. That's 500 more than last October, and that all 50 states. U.S. organizers estimated that the first rounds of the No Kings rallies drew more than 5 million people in June, 7 million in October. They expected 9 million people on Saturday. That's a lot of people that supposedly have this derangement syndrome, which we do not have. Mostly peaceful protests. There were a few arrests, so in fairness, you got to say that. But it seems like from the reports, a lot of the arrests maybe got escalated, but I'll let you be the judge of that. In Los Angeles, authorities deployed tear gas near a federal detention center in downtown, and then they arrested people for failing to disperse because people were listening to a band and dancing to Spanish language music. And we know we can't have brown people dancing in the streets because that is... we got to target that, right? Denver also had a little trouble. They said they declared an unlawful assembly and deployed smoke canisters after a small group of protesters blocked a road and did not leave as asked. Well, I know the ones I've been to, the organizers and the protest marshals, for lack of a better term, were very good about making sure that we stayed on the curb, far enough back so that people could walk by on the grass. They weren't in the streets. There was the first one I went to, people tried to go over to the median to protest from there. No, you got to come back. Everybody seemed to follow directions, which seems the antithesis of protesting, but it sends a good message when you can protest without these arrests. Now, closer to home, Milwaukee had more than 1,000 people attend the protest in Washington Park. They marched in support of immigrant rights and protecting democracy, all of that. A lot of signs, mostly targeting Trump's immigration policies and ICE. This is where, yes, Wisconsin Republicans coming to the defense of their citizenry. Not really. In a statement, a White House spokesman characterized the protest as Trump derangement therapy sessions. The state Republican Party here in Wisconsin said Governor Evers was the only wannabe king in Wisconsin because of his tax policies and consolidation of power in the executive branch. Are they not paying attention to what's going on where they work or where the country is supposed to be working? Oh, well. And then here in Madison, I mentioned it a little before, thousands came to downtown Madison. This was the third No Kings rally, and it drew more than 20,000 people, according to No Kings organizers here. Said there were 17,000 at the June event and 20,000 at the one in October. So this iteration of No Kings, a little bit different here in Madison, introduced a resource fair, a collective of more than 50 local political and service organizations that represented tables along the sidewalk. So this is a huge event, and it still surprises me, not that we have this much of a turnout in this country, but that we have this much of a turnout around the globe. And you wonder, despite all the protestations from the administration, that the millions and millions and millions of citizens that are out protesting and the millions of people around the globe who are protesting are all somehow, we've fallen ill to this derangement syndrome that is just, our freedom of speech. You wonder how much it gets through, because I don't care how braggadocious somebody is. I don't care if, like the president, everything They think that everything they do is great, that they are beyond reproach, that they are a genius in so many different fields, from real estate to politics to business. He's just brilliant at everything. To buying shoes that fit, being able to guess the shoe size of strange men and then give them shoes that they wear to prove his brilliance. I don't care how much of that you have inside you. When millions of people are saying that you suck, it's got to get through at some point. It's never going to be in public, because this is a never let them see you sweat type of administration. But in the deep, dark recesses of his mind, when he peels off his orange face at night and lays his combed over head down on the pillow, and the demons start to talk, those demons are also saying, you suck. And the voices of the millions of people who are protesting him, he starts to hear those echoes. It's got to get through, right? You can't just be that oblivious to the world around you. Mark says, he's quoting Martha and the Vandellas in 1965. Dancing in the Streets begins calling out around the world. Yeah, I don't think we needed to do much calling out. I think the world, thank you, Mark, for the text from Prairie du Sac. The world is ready. The world wants change too, because we'll get to it in headlines and stuff, what he's saying about NATO and what he's saying still about Iran, even though supposedly there's some talks today, but the talks today do not really involve the U.S. that much. So we're going to get to all of that. It is it's nuts. All right, when we come back, and I know we got a little time, Parker, but this it's an extended tease. I got my eye on the clock. You relax, buddy.
I trust.
I like going out. I hate getting to the places that I'm going because I have to drive in traffic like the rest of you. And if you've noticed, distracted driving has gotten worse and worse. Now, we all blame the phone. I blame legalized cannabis and vaping as one of the main things. But there is a new horror that is causing distracted driving. And listen, as much as I don't like to blame the young people, this one is, Parker, this is aimed at your age group. It is, yes, it's not me. Talk to the National Highway Transportation Authority and all the traffic experts. Talk to the government. Talk to people who know. Don't at me about this. And I know I'm being very vague because I'm doing this in the next segment. But I want to know from you, and be honest. You don't have to use your real name. Parker doesn't know who you are or where you live.
No.
Are you guilty of distracted driving? And if so, what distracts you? Because it's going to be me coming up behind you and honking and shaking my fist if you're not careful. So we'll get to that. We'll get to so much more. And don't forget, Supreme Court candidate Chris Taylor joins me at 8:35. And we're going to talk about female candidates at 7:35. We got a lot coming up. But first, we must do this. I'm Brian Noonan. Jamie is out today. She'll be back with us tomorrow. But we soldier on Daybreak on the Civic Media Network. All right, here we go.
All right. You know, I'm actually wild that this distracted driving thing came up because the other day we were driving to dinner and genuinely I think half of the people I saw driving were on their phones.
Yes, it's maddening.
Nuts.
It is maddening. Good, you have a story to add.
Yeah.
Yeah, it makes me furious because every stoplight, people are looking at their phone. The light changes, and they wait and they wait, and then when you honk, they flip you off. It's like, hey, or then they decide they're gonna play that game where they go really slow now.
Yeah.
And I'm like, man, I wish I had a Mad Max car because I would be ramming. If I had no worry about being arrested, I'd be ramming people all the time. I would just, that gets me. It's like, no, see, you're in the wrong. You don't get to act like I'm being a jerk because I've sat at the light waiting for you to send your very important text like, where you at? Or you up?
You up?
You
Knew
up?
that was coming.
It's the middle of the day, jerk. Of course they're up. Who you texting? Some layabout? Boys, talk about airing grievances. Frank, you may be onto something. Maybe we do. The final hour is just the airing of grievances, and then we talk to Chris Taylor.
I'm telling you.
This is no longer the show within the show. This is the airing of grievances.
This is the airing of grievances. No, it's true. I get it. I'm road raging before I pull out of my garage because I know what's coming. And I'm like, oh, man.
See, that's the nice thing about the 5 a.m. commute, though. There's hardly anybody to bother you.
That's true. Nobody gets in my way coming up the stairs. So
Yeah. That's right. As long as the dogs aren't in the way, you're good.
It's the rest of the first part of the day is always smooth. It's once I have to go out in public with with people, because one car can mess everything up for everybody.
Yeah, there was this is a very different note, but similar. There was a crash on Monona the other day that somebody had like a medical emergency.
Oh God.
And they like floored it when they did. So there was like a 7-car accident because of it.
Oh no.
Yeah, no, it was not good.
Ugh. I always wondered what would, that's the thing. It's like, you hear
Yeah,
about these medical emergency things. It's like, oh man, yeah,
Right.
you're driving. Forget it.
I know. It freaks me out.
And if you're like on the interstate and have a grabber
Uh-huh.
and you're going 70.
All right, we got 10 seconds.
All right.
From Lake Superior to Lake Michigan, this is Wisconsin's Morning Conversation. Daybreak with Brian and Jamie.
Good morning. It's 6:53. Glad you're with us, whether you're in Madison, Appleton, Oshkosh, Hayward, Eau Claire, Richland Center, everybody on the network, or right here, in our building in Madison. Are you outside the building? Just hanging out, hoping to get a glimpse of Parker? Maybe. Maybe you're looking
Come say
in.
hi.
You love it.
Wave at me.
Come-
I'm right by
yeah.
the window.
If you're really tall, look in the window and wave to Parker.
Go across the street.
Yeah. Just stand on the street corner with a sandwich board that says, hi, Parker. 855-75-CIVIC, 855-752-4842. Before the break, I was teasing that, we're used to blaming cell phones for distracted driving. We're used to saying people are texting while they're driving. Well, all of those are true, and they've led to all kinds of laws across, slogans such as "It Can Wait" or "Arrive Alive," "Don't Text and Drive," all the brilliant rhymes that people just make fun of. They don't really listen. 49 states and Washington, D.C. have installed laws against texting and driving. Parker, do you know the one state that has not?
It feels like a Texas thing.
No, it is Montana.
Montana.
I don't know how cell service is in Montana, so they may not have to worry about it.
That's
there's a
true.
lot of there's a lot of wide open spaces in Montana.
And maybe it's good to have something in your hand in case you get charged by a bear or something. You just throw
Could
it
be.
at them.
A
It
lot
could
of
be what
buffalo,
it
a lot
is.
of bison just on the
bison.
highway.
Oh, yeah.
They have to
Yep.
whip your dead phone at because it doesn't work as a phone. It's just a bludgeon. That might work. But Montana, listen, here you go, folks. Here's a solution. If you want to text and drive, everybody move to Montana. Then you can text and drive to your heart's content. Then
Can
the
we condone
Montana.
this? I don't think we can condone this.
Then it's going to be up to Montana to change the law. But if you
There you
want to
go.
text and drive, it's against the law here. So, skidoo. Steve is distracted by driving through campus with all the ladies in bikinis. Is that happening? Does that now? I've walked campus a number of times. This time of year, I'm guessing no.
This time of year, as it first gets warm, yes. And actually, a friend of mine posted a picture of her and her friends on top of a parking garage sunbathing,
Nice.
which I thought was an interesting strategy.
Well, they're closer to the sun. because it might be
Yes.
cooler down at ground level. But if you get up there on the blacktop of a parking structure, then you can just bake, and you're what, 3 stories closer to the sun. So
Hey, that does a lot. It does a
I don't
lot
know,
for you.
that close to the sun is going to enhance the UV rays. You need extra protection. Wear an SPF 30 on top of the parking garage. Anyway, experts, Parker, and plenty of drivers have clocked a new culprit. Here is the new culprit. People watching videos such as YouTube or TikTok while they're driving. I often see, those big cartainment, the CarPlay systems and other video screen. I see people running videos while they're driving. I'm like, what are you doing? Earlier this month, as an example, a driver slammed into a parked police cruiser in California, narrowly missing the officer, who footage caught jumping out of the way just in time. The driver said he was watching videos on YouTube and failed to notice the scene ahead of him. Now, I'll make some jokes here and there, but distracted driving is unbelievably dangerous and really an important issue. Because think about it. How many times have you been driving? And even if, I tend to pay really close attention when I'm driving, mostly because I'm looking for gaps. I like to think I'm in a Formula One race, and I'm looking for gaps in traffic so I can keep zipping by all the people who are watching videos and texting. That's who I have to zip by. But think about it. Even if you look down for a second, that does count as being distracted. And how many times have you looked down to punch a button on your radio or dropped something on your seat and went quick to pick it up? All of a sudden it's done. Well, once they started doing, you'll remember when seatbelt laws came into effect, fatalities dropped after seatbelt laws and airbags were introduced in the 70s. They started climbing up after COVID. Experts cited a bevy of reasons: larger cars, higher speed limits, the opioid crisis, and smartphones. Here's where I get to you, Parker. New drivers, which the NHTSA categorizes as between the ages of 15 and 20, made up the largest proportion of people who were distracted at the time of a fatal crash. Charlie Clowers, a research scientist and associate professor at Virginia Tech, she said people are engaging more and more with their phones while driving. The progression has gone from texting it to browsing and looking and watching, where we now see a lot of it in its Instagram, Snapchat, TikTok, and a wide range of things. And distracted driving does happen across the board, but the research shows it's in the early to mid-20s that we see a very high prevalence of this type of behavior. So, Parker, I hold you and your ilk responsible for my highway upsetment.
Yeah.
How do you watch? I mean, how do you think? Not you, but how does anybody think watching a video and driving? Driving is one of the few things most of us do that can kill us and the people around us. The rest of our day, we don't engage in those sort of activities that could really kill us. And yet when we get in a car and we're driving anywhere from 25 to 75 miles an hour, we think, oh, you know what I'm going to do now? I'm going to pop on a little YouTube and go on a deep dive. Why don't you deep dive fatal car accidents? See if you want to keep watching your videos while you're doing that. It's amazing to me. And this is not, I don't think this is an old man mentality. I think this should just be a common sense mentality for everybody who gets behind the wheel. You don't need the phone. Like, I have mine on a mount. I've got, because I do use Waze a lot. And my phone is connected, through the car, so I never need to pick the phone up if I need to call somebody. But even then, there's times where I'm like, I can't talk to you. There's traffic. If I'm on an open highway and I want to call my wife, okay, there's nobody around me. But if I'm driving through the city and I'm trying to find a place, forget about it. It's not happening. All right, when the second hour of the show continues, Jamie still will not be here. If you're wondering, Brian, where is Jamie? She's under the weather today. Hopefully we get her back tomorrow, but we will see what's happening in Iran. We'll see some stuff you need to know and a whole lot more. I'm Brian Noonan. This is Daybreak, and this is, of course, the Civic Media Network.
Yeah. Watch that. there's so much that, like, there's an addiction aspect, I think, to this.
Yeah, I
There
think
is
you're right.
There's a stimulation aspect to it too, like just needing more things, because that's kind of what my generation is built on.
Yeah.
With oh god, I remember talking about this once with I think similar topic with a college professor of mine, and I said this. Here is what really annoys me about Instagram Reels.
Okay.
With YouTube, you can swipe out, like you can go into another app, but it'll pop up that little video player in the corner. So you can still be watching YouTube while you're using another app. Like I'll scroll Twitter while watching a YouTube video at the same time in the corner of my phone.
Okay.
You cannot do that with Instagram Reels, and you are confined to only using Instagram Reels. You cannot go and swipe Twitter at the same time.
Oh no.
And that genuinely angered me for a little while.
That you were limited to one platform got you that
yes.
mad?
Yes. Wow. Uh-huh. Not great. I need more things, Brian.
I'm
gonna run and go get some coffee.
All right.
Okay.
All right, we'll be here. I am trying my best to put the phone down now while, like, if I'm watching a show, because I've realized I've watched entire series and don't remember any of it because I'm on the phone. And I think I try to fool myself that, I can browse and listen. And I guess I hear most of the show, but I'm not retaining it. And that's the problem. We're trying to divide our brains so much that we take in a lot of information, but how much do we retain and how much can we recall and actually put to good use? And I'm not sure it's most of it.
No. It's pretty easy for things to go in one ear out the other.
Still trying to write some more questions for Chris Taylor.
Hey, man, you're good. I'm writing the podcast description right now.
I have a podcast today.
Oh, yeah?
I'm like, oh, man, there's so many unknowns with, like, picking up my mom and doing other things. I'm like, okay, so yesterday, besides working on the show, I got all my questions and research done for tonight's podcast. And it was like, all right, at least I'm ready. I can put the stuff in the car, and it's not too far. It's about the same distance to go from my mom's to the brewery that we're interviewing as to go from my house. So it's not that'll work out. But
yeah.
I'm trying to keep it where it's not so much bashing.
No. Yeah. Yeah, that's kind of the thing. I don't love interviewing candidates kind of for that reason. Got 15 seconds.
All right.
Wisconsin wakes up here. Back to Daybreak with Brian and Jamie.
Welcome. We're glad you're here. I'm Brian Noonan. Jamie is out today. She will be back tomorrow. Fingers crossed. Hoping she feels better. A little under the weather. It's 7:06 and it is Monday. Just in case you are just waking up and you're groggy and you're like, what day is it? What time is it? One, congratulations on having a fun weekend. And two, it's 7:06 and it's Monday. And as always, things have happened over the weekend that you might have missed. Let's start with Iran. Some headlines coming out of the war that is now a month old and shows no sign of stopping, despite what we keep hearing from. And this just came in. The president issued a new threat to Iran's civilian infrastructure if ceasefire deal doesn't come through soon. I wonder if this is going to be another one of his, I'm giving you 5 days. All right, I'm giving you 10 days. All right, we'll see what happens. Well, Iran's parliament speaker accused the U.S. of, quote, secretly planning a ground invasion, end quote, while talking of negotiations. The USS Tripoli, carrying 3,500 U.S. service members, has arrived now in the Middle East. In other headlines, a top Iranian official warned the U.S. against a ground invasion, saying its troops would be set on fire as regional diplomats met Sunday in Pakistan in hopes of opening direct U.S.-Iran talks and ending the month-long war. If you want to see something really terrifying, I don't know if you've seen these, Parker. Iran's been putting out these Lego videos about the war.
Lego.
Yeah.
Oh.
And now they put one out that's about, because there's been the threat of the president taking over Harang Island. And so Iran put out a video of that, and it is not good. Not good. But yes, no talks yet. Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu announced that Israel will widen its invasion of Lebanon. Netanyahu said Israel would expand what he calls the existing security strip in southern Lebanon as Israeli forces target the Iranian-backed Hezbollah militant group. More coming out of the region. Pakistan said the foreign ministers of Saudi Arabia, Turkey, and Egypt met in Islamabad without U.S. or Israel participation, days after the U.S. offered Iran a 15-point action list as a framework for a possible peace deal. The ministers are expected to meet again today. Again, no U.S. or Israeli participation in those talks, and we know the 15-point action list was poo-pooed by Iran. Elsewhere, the Latin Patriarchate and Israeli police stopped church leaders celebrating Mass on Palm Sunday as Israeli authorities restrict access to religious sites in East Jerusalem. It came as Pope Leo rejected attempts to co-opt God as justification for war. Specifically, he called out our Secretary of Defense, Pistol Pete Hegseth, because you've been seeing a lot, especially during CPAC. A lot of so-called Christians, and I am not anti-Christian, I am anti-Christian nationalism, but a lot of these so-called Christians who are using God as a bludgeoning force to justify the war and calling down God's wrath, and Hegseth is really doing it a lot, and it's become troubling. To say the least, to not only people who are not really religious, but to former military executives, and it's just not done in war, because in the past, history has shown that American military leaders do not want any engagement that the U.S. has to be viewed as a religious war. That's why Desert Storm, or one of those, Dick Cheney changed the name of, I think it was Desert Storm, to make sure that it didn't come across as a religious kind of conflict, and that's been done by other administrations in the past. So we'll see. Let's check on this latest update. The Yep, we got this coming up. The president saying the American forces could seize Karg Island, its main oil terminal in the Persian Gulf. So we'll get to that and the threat of bombing more civilian infrastructure. That's just wonderful. I thought, and I know war is ugly and war is, there are always casualties, but when I didn't think you said or purposely tried to bomb civilians or civilian infrastructure. I thought that was just how it was done. But that's just me. All right, you know what? That's the Iran war. That's the Persian Gulf region. That's the Middle East, where all tensions seem to come from. But that's not true. There are tensions here at home, Parker. That's why people have some stuff they need to know.
It's a wake-up call in more ways than one. Time for some you need to know.
Oh, there's always you need to know. So, good news, or is it? You be the judge. The administration officials say TSA workers will receive paychecks in the next couple of days. Very vague. Is it 2 weeks? I don't know. That's the usual. Let's hope not. If you are a TSA agent, I know you were listening to a lot of talk yesterday and you were being told, oh, checks are coming out today, but it's like the old joke, Parker, checks in the mail. That always meant you hadn't paid your bill, but the check was in the mail. And it was, you'll get it when you get it. So they say workers will receive paychecks in the next couple days because the president just has a plan to unilaterally fund the agency. Congress remains in a stalemate over the Department of Homeland Security shutdown. You know this, and it is it's getting harder and harder for Republicans to blame other people, isn't it? Trump on Friday issued a promised executive action that TSA employees be paid immediately. Quote, I hereby direct the Secretary of Homeland Security in coordination with the Director of the Office of Management and Budget to use funds that have a reasonable and logical nexus to TSA operations to provide TSA employees with the compensation and benefits that would have accrued to them if not for the Democratic-led DHS shutdown consistent with applicable law, end quote. That was what the president wrote. The big question, obviously, that came out of this weekend was, if we had the money all along, why didn't he just pay him? But that's too easy a question because the answer would be, well, that would have taken away some of not only Republican talking points, but what they perceived as bargaining power. Now, you know that roughly 61,000 TSA employees are missing their second full paycheck. You also know that Congress then skedaddled for a 2-week vacation. The Senate moved to fund most of the department, including TSA, though not Immigration Enforcement and Border Patrol, which it needs to be reiterated that has already been funded through the big, beautiful bill. They have money to operate ICE. They just want more money. So the Democrats were saying, no, we're not going to give you more money when you're already funded until you meet some of these criteria. Well, then everybody started hearing that from their constituents that this was not a good plan. People were waiting up to 4 hours in security lines at airports. People were miserable. Everything seems to be going wrong. Gas prices, grocery prices, everything is shooting up. So in a unanimous vote, there was actually negotiation. And the Senate voted yes. We're going to do this partial funding. It gets TSA back going. It gets FEMA back funded. It gets the Coast Guard back funded. They didn't give in to all, the Republicans didn't give in to all the demands from the Democrats, but it's a negotiation. It's a compromise. Then they send this bill over to the House, and the Senate has already said, yes, let's pay these people their money. If I can quote John Malkovich from Rounders, give that man his money. Well, then Mike Johnson gets this bill. He doesn't even bring it to the floor. He calls it a joke and said he would put forth his own short-term spending bill that would fully fund the agency for 8 weeks, and then, without a vote, he left. So, riddle me this, Batman. Whose fault is it now? The president and House Republicans are still blaming the Democrats. And now the Republicans in the House are blaming the Republicans in the Senate. So this is, if you are hopeful about any sort of change, this is good when they're fighting amongst themselves because the united front is no longer united. Unfortunately, it means that TSA may have to wait a little longer. We'll see. Closer to home. This we talked about when it first came up, and a lot of people not happy about it. Well, don't worry. The proposal to rename part of County Highway K in Washington County after Charlie Kirk, the late conservative activist, is no longer being considered. Triumph for the good guys. Jeffrey Schleif, chair of the Washington County Board of Supervisors, cited cost as the reason. He said, as Washington County has contemplated the renaming of a highway, we have learned that the actual cost is substantially higher than first known. While we wish the process had gone smoother, this matter is no longer under consideration. There will be no further comment on this issue. Hey, whether it's true or not that they didn't anticipate how high the cost was, I love that he dropped it. We can't afford it. It's not happening. It's like what your dad said when you wanted a pony, Parker. Don't have the money, too expensive. He didn't want to say that you'd get chafed and saddle sores. He didn't want to tell you any of that. He just said, we can't afford it. That's the way it goes. According to the proposal, signage for the section of roadway was estimated to cost $50,000. So now if we believe the chairman of the County Board of Supervisors, it was going to cost more than that. They don't want to spend it. And the signs that would have been visible from Interstate 41, also the proposal drew a lot of backlash. But whatever the reason, his heart or his shoes, they stood there in Washington County hating the idea of Charlie Kirk's sign, if I may paraphrase the great Dr. Seuss. In other news, ICE agents may remain at airports even after the TSA gets paid. But why, you may wonder? Well, White House border czar Tom Homan suggested Sunday that ICE agents deployed to airports may remain there even after Transportation Security Agency officers are paid this week. He was on CNN on State of the Union, and Homan said, quote, "We'll see." When he was asked by Jake Tapper whether Immigration and Customs Enforcement agents will leave airports after TSA personnel are paid, Homan said some of that decision will depend on whether TSA agents come back to work. And if you listened to the union president, that's going to take a while for the ones who quit, because they have to not only go through the process of hiring new ones, they have to train them, and their specialized training takes a while. So we might still see extended lines at the airport only because now the workers who called in sick, with the air quotes, they'll probably come back because now they're getting in theory, they'll get all their back pay, they'll get all their benefits, everything will be good. But all the ones that quit, that's going to be another issue. TSA agents will get paid hopefully tomorrow or Tuesday, according to Homan. That comes after Trump saying he would just unilaterally have them paid. And Congress once again has failed to strike that deal, and now they're off for 2 weeks, while the rest of the country continues to burn. All right, we've got big elections coming up here in Wisconsin. April 7th is the Supreme Court election, and a couple more elections this year in Wisconsin. And you may be thinking, Brian, I want to vote for some ladies. It's time to get more women, not only in public office, in the assembly, but on the bench and everywhere else. How is Wisconsin doing when it comes to women in public office? Well, we're going to talk to Amanda Sherman Beatty from Emily's List, and we're going to talk about women candidates and what Emily's List does to get women candidates on the ballots. And they have some endorsements in case that's something you're interested in. So we're going to talk all about ladies in politics, women running for office, and getting the job done, because, men have had their run and things could be a little better. I think we can all agree. I'm Brian Noonan. Jamie Martinson is out today, but that does not mean that this is still not Daybreak on the Civic Media Network.
All right. I did also just read about Iran. That's Spain. Did you see that?
So far away.
Spain is doubling down on their opposition to the war.
No, where'd you read it? I'll put it in.
It was in a It's a really, really quick one.
Breaking news things?
Yeah, it's in that live updates thing. It's from almost 6 o'clock this morning. They're closing airspace to U.S. planes in the used in the war.
Cool.
Yeah, that's cool.
In addition to not allowing the U.S. to use their joint military bases for the war that are in Spain.
I too would like to double down and oppose this war.
What do you need?
Yeah.
I'll change out some of these for the next one.
Brian's going to have all the power in this segment.
What do you mean?
Is he?
Is he? I assume
Is he?
Well, is he not?
Oh, it's Swiper Stay is next. What am I talking about? I teased something else.
Yeah, dude,
I was
what are
waiting
you
for you
doing?
to throw in like a. But
I
At
first,
7:30.
yeah.
Sorry. Listen, man.
Sorry, everybody.
Listen,
I got a
man.
lot on this rundown. Trying to figure it out.
It's a big day, busy day.
It's always a busy day on Daybreak.
The sun is coming up earlier. and it
I
makes me
noticed
so
that
happy.
yesterday.
Makes me so happy.
You mean you don't like getting up when it's pitch black out?
Dude, when I first started this job, I could see the sun a little bit in the ride to work. That is no more. But it's about to be. By the
about to
way,
be.
10 seconds
Soon.
till we're back.
Let's break out of the bubble and see what's happening out there in pop culture. It's Swiper Stay on Daybreak.
Yeah, it is Swiper Stay. Welcome. I'm Brian Noonan. Jamie is out today. And I teased something else, which we are going to do at 7:30, but I can't tell time. That's why I'll tell you it's 7:23 in case you're like me and you're looking at the clock and not realizing it's not 7:30, it's 7:23. Anyway, now Jamie's not here, so I am going to propose that Parker take Jamie's place today. We will have no tiebreaker. Frank, you will be the ultimate tiebreaker because you have written the stories. Or I could always pull rank, and even if there is a tie, I will.
Let's hold on.
What?
Let's
What?
get something straight around here. I make the rules for this game.
All right. Well,
So
what do you
how
want to
this
do
is
then?
going, I'm going to tell you how this is going to
Wow.
work.
All right.
Okay.
Slow your roll,
Jeez.
Jackson.
For Swiper Stay today,
Uh-huh.
I'm going to read some vague pop culture headlines. Brian and Parker will decide whether or not to swipe or stay, and
That's
I
what
will
he
be the
said.
tiebreaker. So, Brian, you're right. That is exactly what I had planned. But I'm the one who makes the rules around here.
Okay. All
It's
right.
his segment.
This is my
You're
segment.
I sit corrected. All right, I'm good. With that, I'm rightfully chastised, and now it's time to play.
All right, are we ready?
Yeah, please.
Yeah.
I think there's going to be a lot of staying. That's just my hunch. But
All right.
NFL captain says he doesn't want to play.
Hey, we're doing sporty sports today. I'm
Yeah.
gonna stay.
Parker?
Sporty sports. We're staying.
So Derwin James, defensive captain of the LA Chargers, says current players should not play in the upcoming flag football games in the 2028 Olympics.
Oh, okay.
See, I threw a little curveball at you.
Yeah, you did.
So I don't know if you guys saw, I think it was Fanatics that put on like the flag
Yeah.
football game where it was like former NFL players and some current players against like actual flag football players. So Derwin James, after that game, said, I think the flag football players should play instead, alluding to the fact that he doesn't think anybody that's starting in the NFL should be risking injury.
Yeah, that
Was
makes
his
sense.
main purpose
I mean,
for it.
yeah, that's part of it. I think there's also the part that the flag football players have a different skill set that work better for flag football.
He said that too. He said, I think they're
Okay.
better equipped for these Olympic Games. So he went on to say, I say the next Olympics, give them boys this one because I feel they're more prepared. They're more skilled. I mean, you've seen the formations they was running out there. It was crazy. He also went on to say that maybe some former retired NFL players should throw their hats into the ring.
Yeah.
So you just know Tom Brady's going to try and be the quarterback.
Well, of course.
Yeah, hey, listen, he's itching
Look,
to get back. He hasn't
I
done
don't know
enough.
if you, Brian, I don't know if you saw the clip, but Brady threw an absolute dime to the corner of the end zone in that game,
He did.
in the flag football game.
I did not
Go
watch
look
the
it
flag
up.
football game, but
I didn't either, but I saw that clip and I was like, ooh, he's still got it, baby. He's still got it.
well, I'm sure he does. So flag football might be in. All right, story number 2.
We have a comedian that is calling for the military draft.
I know this story, and I don't want to give this guy any publicity. I am going to swipe.
As a man who is likely to be drafted, I will swipe. Don't want to know more about
Oh, come on.
You can do it. There's your hint, Parker.
There's your hint. Yeah, he's too busy suckling from the teat of Adam Sandler's
Not
success.
anymore.
Actually, I don't think he has been for a while.
No,
We
he
have
hasn't.
an A-list musician defending Diddy.
Ooh,
Oh,
wow. Who's coming to Diddy's defense? Stay.
yeah, I'm staying.
If you had to guess who is coming to Diddy's defense,
It'd be R. Kelly and the ghost of Michael Jackson.
I was also thinking R. Kelly. Yeah.
it's actually Usher.
Oh,
Really?
As in, headlined the Super Bowl 2 years ago,
Yeah.
Usher.
Okay.
Usher came out and said in an interview with Forbes that what did he call it? He said it was misrepresented. All the statements were misrepresenting Mr. Diddy, and he has nothing bad to say about the man and all of his interactions with him.
Wow. What does Diddy have on Usher?
So that was my thought, but also for everyone that doesn't know, Diddy was convicted of prostitution charges this past year, right?
Right
Or
on.
last year. And although sex trafficking and racketeering charges were dropped, you still have a lot of people coming out with some bold allegations about you.
Yes, and the hoarding of baby oil is inexcusable.
Yeah, I'm not going to get too much into the weeds on this because there's one more story I really want to get to.
All right. Here we go.
Because it is the Sporty Sports Show. We have
All
a
right.
star athlete that has got himself into trouble yet again.
Oh,
We have not talked about it.
I know it, but let's do it because I can't believe it. I feel bad.
this sucks.
Do you feel what? What do you mean?
I feel
you
bad that he
feel
needs.
bad?
Here's
This
why I feel
sucks.
bad. I feel bad that he needs help. He
Yeah.
obviously needs meetings. He needs intervention. He has a problem with drinking, and that's why I feel bad that he needs help. And so he's allowing his addiction to ruin his life and potentially the life of other people. That's why I feel bad. I don't feel bad that he got arrested.
So the person we're talking about is Tiger Woods, who's back in the media again for non-golf related issues. This time he was charged with a DUI after crashing and rolling his Range Rover in Florida. Now, here's what's important. Tiger blew a 0.0 of alcohol. Authorities believe he was under the influence of prescription drugs. So you're right, Brian. He probably does have an addiction of some sort.
Well, he's rolled more cars than a monster truck rally. This guy, when he gets in an accident, you got to give it to him.
He's going
he takes it
all out.
He's going over a cliff. He's going over a fire hydrant. He's flipping his car. He's getting his car windows bashed in by his ex-wife with a golf club. He does it big, but it's derailing everything. Frank, another stellar edition of Swipe
Thank
or
you.
Stay.
Thank you.
We'll get to more and the aforementioned female candidate talk on the Civic Media Network.
All right.
All right.
I
I'm gonna let you guys know in the secret show.
Yes.
For whatever reason, my Diddy story got deleted. So
Oh.
there was nothing there.
I wondered why. I was like, Frank.
Yeah.
No, as you know, I'm usually way more prepared.
Yeah,
And I
was
looked
like,
and the story was not there. And I was like, what the hell is happening with my computer?
I took it as Jamie's not here. You don't have to worry about it.
Nope.
Kind of mentality, which I didn't. I don't
Jamie,
cotton
look,
to that.
Jamie is
cotton to
always
that.
here. Big sister is always watching.
Yes, she is.
I do not try to let Jamie down. So I saw
I don't
it
want
going,
any
I was
lazy.
like,
I don't want a laissez-faire attitude just because I'm by myself.
No. It
Give
was
it a
not
tight.
there. I'm
got
also
stuff to do.
shocked you skipped on Rob Schneider.
I
Shocked.
I don't want
was
to give
like,
Rob Schneider any press. He is.
I don't want
He is
to.
a useless waste of space.
like
don't
you
wanna
know
think
you
about a
need
draft.
attention if you're
Mm-hmm.
putting out such a bold statement that we need to have the draft right now. And it's like, what are you talking about?
Yeah.
Nobody
No.
wants this war.
Right.
This
Nobody
is
wants
worse
the
than
war.
Vietnam.
It's supposed to be over again in a couple days. So why do you need to draft? We already have a fully staffed military. So if we have a full military and we also are in a war that's going to be over in 3 to 4 days or a week,
right.
why? Because he needs attention, like you said.
All right. Amanda just joined. I'm going to. Hi, Amanda. How are
Hi,
you?
Amanda.
Good. How are y'all?
Good.
We're great.
Thanks for being here this morning. I appreciate it.
Thanks for having me.
Sure. So we'll focus a little on Wisconsin and how Wisconsin is doing, but we'll also find out what Emily's list is and what you guys do, and then we'll talk about some of the endorsements that you did for the candidates in the upcoming Wisconsin election.
Yeah, awesome.
Perfect. And where are you located?
I live in DC now, but I'm actually from Milwaukee.
Oh, very nice.
cool.
Well, welcome.
Yes. Thanks. It's
You're
always fun
welcome.
to talk about Wisconsin.
There you go. So we got about 2.5 minutes.
I also do want to point out, Amanda, we do have a female co-host for this segment. She is
Yes.
actually,
Oh, that's true.
she miraculously took a sick day, which she does not do. So just know that was in mind when we booked
Yes.
this. This isn't the man show. I
It's not
promise.
this is not the patriarchy
Yeah.
trying to
Yeah.
give a little tap on the head to the little ladies who want to run for office.
I
This is
mean, you
not-
had the topic, so I was like, kudos to y'all.
Yeah.
yeah, that was very enlightened for a. Yes, we
No,
try. We
it's that
try.
spring. It's that springtime of year. There's like, you don't know if it's allergies or whatever remnants of like
Right.
cold and
Yeah.
flu season is still floating about. It's nasty out there.
A lot of people are getting sick. So, but yeah, we were surprised. She usually doesn't give in, succumb to illness. So we're figuring, oh, it must be pretty
Yeah.
serious.
Oh, and Amanda, just so you know, when we get down to our last couple of minutes in the segment, I'll give you hand signals how many minutes we got left. And if you start to hear music towards the end, that means we just got a couple seconds left, so we got to wrap it up.
Sounds good.
Awesome. Thank you much. We got about a minute still here.
And Amanda, it's Amanda Sherman Beatty.
Yep.
Okay.
All right, we got 15 seconds.
Local news, community stories, and the conversations that matter most. Now, more Daybreak with Brian and Jamie.
Good morning. It's 7:35. I'm Brian Noonan. Jamie is out today, but she is hopefully back tomorrow. A little bit under the weather, so we're wishing her well. Beautiful day in Wisconsin, so if you get a chance, get out and, as the kids like to say, touch some grass. Well, over the last 40 years or so, more and more women have been running for and getting elected to public office. While progress has been made, there is more work to be done. How does Wisconsin measure up when it comes to women in public office, and what women candidates who are in this election deserve your attention and possibly your vote. I'm joined by Amanda Sherman-Beatty. She's Chief Communications Officer for Emily's List. We're going to find that out. Emily'sList.org is the website. Amanda, thank you for being here as a native of Milwaukee, and welcome back to Wisconsin. We're glad you're here. First off, can you tell us what Emily's List is and what you folks do there?
Absolutely. Thanks for having me. So Emily's List is an acronym, actually. It stands for Early Money is Like Yeast because it makes the dough rise. So when we were founded in 1985, there is no Emily. That is a surprising fact that some don't know. When this was founded in 1985, it was because women candidates just weren't, one, they weren't really running for office, but they also weren't able to get the resources they needed to run for office. And so a group of women came together and they started adding just a little bit of money here, a little bit of money there that they could do every month. And slowly they were able to build a fundraising juggernaut that actually helped Barbara Mikulski get into the Senate and really shaped and turned the tide of women's political leadership in elected office. And so that's where we started from. And then obviously over these years, we've come a really long way in terms of representation of women in politics. And you can see that from right now, we have the country's first vice president. We had 193 women in the House, 29 elected to the Senate, 22 governors, and over 1,600 Emily's List women have been elected to state and local office. So
and this is a Democrat. This is a Democratic organization,
yes,
correct?
A Democratic organization. We elect Democratic pro-choice women. So that has been kind of our guiding light and guiding principle throughout all this time. Obviously, it was pre-Dobbs, and now post-Dobbs, that is obviously even more important than it has ever been. And so we have been excited to stand with some really bold, authentic leaders through both the 2018 election, through kind of all of the different challenges this country's faced over these last 45 years. Women leaders, Democratic women leaders, have really stood up and been part of kind of the sea change that brings our country back. And so we're excited to continue doing that in this cycle. We've done that in Wisconsin, as you know, frequently. And I'm just excited kind of going into this time in our country and what we're facing in these midterms and even the odd year elections. It's really more important than ever.
Other than the old mindset of, well, and this is mostly for president, but it weighed in other offices as well, that old mindset of, oh, America's just not ready for a female leader. We obviously are to a certain level. What's the biggest challenge for a female candidate that's different from a male candidate? Because you mentioned first it was they couldn't raise money. And now I know part of Emily's List is to train candidates who are going to run. So what's the difference between training a female candidate for a race and a male candidate?
I think the thing that everyone will tell you is women often have to be asked multiple times to run. They have to think that they're like ready and super qualified to jump into the race. And I think we're seeing that less and less, but it still is, what does it mean to run? A lot of women who run don't come from the traditional backgrounds. They've got to set up a campaign infrastructure. They've got to figure out, when I run, like, how do I put my bio out there and explain to people why I'm doing this? What like actual just like infrastructure do I need? And that's really where Emily's List comes in. We work with them from the ground up when they're even thinking about running. We're like, hey, honest perspective, this is what it looks like to run for office. And that has changed a lot over time. I think it's still an incredibly daunting task, and especially in this divisive of an environment, but we're really heartened by how many women are stepping up and being like, I've never been in the political arena. I have no idea what this entails, but I'm sick and tired of what I'm seeing in this country and my community. I'm worried about my kids. Like, it is time for me to I think I can do better. And it's time for me to get in this fight. And so we kind of help them think through from start to finish. What is getting a campaign manager? How do you put your name on the ballot? Like, what does that process take?
Right.
Like, every little detail, there is nothing kind of too big or too small that we work through with our candidates.
I'm guessing the biggest hurdle for any candidate has got to be the raising the money. And so how does, for somebody like you mentioned, your example of a woman who is, she's got really good ideas, she's concerned about her community, she wants to run, but she's never been in politics. All of a sudden, she talks to you guys at Emily's List, and you're like, okay, realistically, it's going to cost this much money to mount a successful campaign. that number, I would think, is going to be so daunting that it might discourage really good candidates from running. So how do you overcome that?
I think it's a question. It really depends on kind of the race, but it also is what we do is we have an amazing team of campaign services folks who sit down and are like, actually, there's probably more money in your network that you know of, that's just in your community, that wants to give, that wants the type of leadership you're running to provide. And so it doesn't actually start out as daunting because we think through, okay, who could you ask? If you ask your neighbor, and then your neighbor has a friend, and it's just a really beyond the Emily's List network, it's just building kind of the network that already exists. And you'd be shocked, and I think a lot of our women are, of how many folks, it's never easy. They will tell you it's never easy, but how many folks, once they start talking about what they want to do, are like, yes, I need that in our, like, I want that in my elected official. I want that in our leadership. Like, I'm absolutely happy to give $5, $10, introduce you to a friend who would also give $5, $10. And that's really been the strength of both Emily's List, but also our women candidates. They build these grassroots donor networks that stand up to powerful money, powerful special interests. We've seen that. Obviously, you guys know in Wisconsin, you've seen that when Elon came in for the Supreme Court race. Like, you're always going to be outspent here, but when you have kind of the vision that people are looking for, it really allows you to go toe to toe in a very effective way and eventually win.
Amanda Sherman Beatty is my guest. She's Chief Communications Officer for Emily's List. Emily'sList.org is the website. All right, Amanda, let's look at Wisconsin. How is Wisconsin measuring up as far as ladies or females in elected office to the rest of the country? How are we doing here?
I mean, you're doing good. There's obviously more work to do. I think the thing where Wisconsin is really shining is with our state Supreme Court justices. Obviously, it has the highest percentage of female state Supreme Court justices in the country.
Nice.
And you have a chance this fall or this spring to elect another one, a long-time Emily's List woman, Chris Taylor. And so I think that is really exciting. And I think seeing the strides, and obviously in Wisconsin, as you know, they've had some pretty skewed maps for a very long time.
Yes, they have.
I am excited as someone who has been in and around Wisconsin politics for a few decades at this point now. It's really exciting to see kind of in this year the opportunity that women are going to have up and down the ballot here.
Well, since you mentioned Chris Taylor, one, I'm talking to her next hour, so that'll be very exciting to talk to her. But let's talk about some of the endorsements, because one of them is state Supreme Court. Now, you mentioned just a second ago, Chris Taylor has been on Emily's List website radar for a long time. So you are endorsing this, not a surprise. Chris Taylor for Supreme Court. What is it about Chris Taylor that makes you want to tell people, no, this is the person you should vote for Supreme Court?
I think it's the perspective that she brings. Like, she has really been at the forefront of standing up for Wisconsin families and Wisconsinites for the bulk of her career. And that's exactly the type of perspective you want to see on the state Supreme Court. You want someone who understands what these issues in front of them mean and is going to look at them from a fairness perspective and understand what it takes as they kind of come ahead of their lived experience. And I think that is truly what is one of the most powerful things about her.
And there are other Emily's List women who are in power. Another Supreme Court justice that you guys endorse, Susan Crawford, is there. Same kind of thing with Susan Crawford's qualifications that led to her endorsement?
I think it's exactly the same with Susan Crawford, with Janet Protasiewicz. These are, I think you have seen kind of what Wisconsin was up against up until we started winning Supreme Court races. And I think this has really been a marked change in the perspectives they are bringing. You are seeing in the judgments and rulings they're having come down. And like, that is making an impact in everyday Wisconsinites' lives. And I think especially going into the next election, going into a presidential election, it is really important to have, going into redistricting in whatever version redistricting now takes in this country. Yeah. It is very important to have leaders like this on the state Supreme Court.
Amanda, we know, and you know this from being here, very purple in Wisconsin. The Assembly and the Senate still have a Republican majority. How does Emily's List and Democrats in general get more women into the Senate, into the Assembly? I know we've got some female candidates that are new, as you said, that are running. They'd never run before. What's the secret? How do you convince not only the women to run, but then Democrats to get out and support these women?
I think it really is the unique perspectives these women are bringing. I think it is at a point in this country where people know, and the state too, where people know things just aren't working, and the legislature is not working for them and has not been working for them. And it's getting, I mean, it has been apparent for a while, but I think the degree to which is getting more and more apparent, and really having these candidates like Robin Vining, like Jenna Jacobson, who can go out, like Lori Palmer, who can go out and they can say, here's like the real tangible things I want to do for you guys if I am elected. This is like what we can do if we take back power in the state legislature. We can actually move policies forth. We no longer have to be beholden to kind of this Republican stop everything. Nothing is going to be passed here. Nothing is going to move. And it's really the families, not just of Democrats, independents, it's just regular Wisconsinites that it's hurting. And I think that at this point in time is really a motivating factor for voters.
Amanda, we got about a minute left, but the big question came close in the last election, finally getting a female president. Do you foresee in your lifetime, are we going to get a female president? I hope so.
Absolutely.
I hope.
Absolutely. I think we will absolutely get it. And I do think this election and the women who are going to take back power, it is going to be Emily's List women, both at the state level and the federal level, who take back the House majority, who give us a path to a potential Senate majority, no matter how narrow, and who win on state and local levels and stand up to Trump for the final 2 years. Because even if we take back power, Trump will still be there, unfortunately, post-November 2026. And I think Emily's List women are at the center of the fight. And so I do believe we are setting up for a female president at some point, but in the interim, I'm excited about the women we have running.
There you go. And if a lady's listening now and she's like, you know what, I have a lot of good ideas and I care, emilyslist.org. And what would your one quick piece of advice, if somebody is sitting there and she is like, you know what, I think I can make a difference. What's the first thing they should do? Contact Emily's List?
Absolutely do it, and contact Emily's List. We want to help you. We want to get you into this fight. So absolutely find us at emilyslist.org.
Amanda, thank you so much for being here. Amanda Sherman Beatty is the Chief Communications Officer for Emily's List. Emily'sList.org is the website. Appreciate your time today, Amanda. Thanks so much. Have a great week.
Thanks. You too.
Thank you very much. All right. The saga has ended. Good news in Wisconsin, and I'm sorry you're going to miss this, Amanda, but Chesney the kangaroo, the saga is over. Or is it? We'll discuss after this on Daybreak. I'm Brian Noonan. This is the Civic Media Network.
So the other day, we're having lunch with my brother and his wife. And I think my mom says something about the kangaroo.
Kangaroo.
I don't remember exactly what it was, but she didn't like name drop. I think she might have said she might have said Chesney instead of like the kangaroo.
Yeah.
And I mentioned it, or I was like, yeah, the king, and I just going along right with the conversation. I knew what was going on. And my brother and his wife are looking at us like, what the hell are you talking about?
I was shocked to see pictures of Chesney in his jean shorts. I'm like, Chesney just dressing a little like John Cena in the jorts. But then, as I read farther, it's because they keep him in the house.
Yeah, it's
so I guess you don't want kangaroos,
no.
doing their biz all over the house.
No, it's not good. I wonder if it's hard to potty train a kangaroo.
I'm going to say yes. Maybe you could teach them like a dog to just go outside, but
maybe.
I don't know.
It could probably open the door itself.
Maybe, yeah. Well, it could kick it open. That'd be hilarious.
Probably break it down easier than you can turn it out.
I'm going to say, if your kangaroo just comes up to the back screen door, leans back at its tail, and blows the door right out of the frame. Chesney, stop it. All right. Yeah, we're almost 2 hours in. What do you know about that?
Look at us.
Show's
Hey, Brian.
rolling. Yes, Frank?
I just sent you something in the chat between you, Parker, and I.
Okay.
I think we talked about it last week. Copy points.
Right.
All right.
One of
Want
these
to do
days
that
we'll do
now?
thing.
Yeah, hit it maybe now and maybe a couple times in the 8.
All right, cool.
Don't forget to plug our socials.
Yeah, socials.
Brian, we just have so much to talk about.
I know. I'm trying to get it all. I'm trying. I'm trying to get to the issues, Frank. I'm not fixated at our social media.
There's no glib and gibberish here. This is all business.
It's all business.
All day.
Well, it's one of those things, since I was better than expected, I want them to see that I can, oh, okay.
I thought you're fairly solid.
No, that's Jamie's fairly solid.
Jamie's fairly solid.
Yeah.
You're right.
So it's always good to let them know that, you're around and you can. I much prefer having a partner, though.
Hey, it's all about exceeding expectations.
That's exactly right.
We got.
Well, then
10
they don't
seconds
worry.
here.
Then they're not like, oh, we got to find somebody to, Like I would rather if Jamie's off, work alone.
Fairly solid, better than expected. It's Daybreak with Brian and Jamie.
And the nice thing is, I am neither one of those things. I'm Brian Noonan. Jamie is out today because she's a little bit under the weather. Hopefully we have her back tomorrow. It is 7:53. It's a Monday morning. You are here on Daybreak. We're glad you're here. Hey, big news. Hey, another giveaway here on Daybreak, Parker. This is exciting. Yes, why would I stop giving things away just because Jamie's not here? We constantly are bribing people to stay and listen, and I'm not above it. I'm not ashamed of it. Don't at me. Just announced, John Mulaney is the latest Bank 5-9 main stage headliner at the Wisconsin State Fair this year. John Mulaney, hilarious. Really funny. You'll have a blast. He's an SNL veteran, award-winning comedian. He's going to, quote, light up the stage for his, I'm glad, because if he was performing in the dark, that would suck. It'd be weird, right?
Yeah,
Doing stand-up in the dark. It's like just when Frank does the voice of God. I don't want to sit on the speedway with a voice of God blaring at me. I want to see this guy. Well, he's going to light up the stage with his new Mr. Whatever set. Tickets are on sale now at the WisconsinStateFair.com, but don't go buy them just yet because I'm not kidding. We are going to give you a shot at a pair of tickets right now on our website. Oh, the website. Go to WRJN.com and hit the John Mulaney page for your shot at winning a pair of tickets. Just fill out the form and hit send. It's that easy. You have until Sunday, April 5th to enter. That's Easter, so you have all week. I have fun facts and talking points. Parker, also do me a favor. Make sure it's just the WRJN.com website for this.
I will do that.
Thank you. John Mulaney grew up in Chicago. He frequently tours the Midwest. We love him. He started as a writer for SNL. You know it. He's just really funny. And he does he wrote Stefan, Bill Hader's character. Oh, this state fair has everything. Corn dogs and you know the bit. So there you go. And he also auditioned against Macaulay Culkin for the part of Kevin in Home Alone. So go to the website and we're going to double check right now. It says WRJN.com and fill out the thing.
It is WRJN.com. If you you look at the homepage, it's in the carousel there. It'll kind of rotate in there. You'll find
Perfect. I just wanted to double
you
check.
You can win some tickets there.
Yeah, you win a pair of tickets. Go see John Mulaney at the State Fair. It sounds like a good time. You know what else is a good time, Parker? When you find your pet. If you've ever lost a pet, you know how heart-wrenching it can be and how anxiety-prone you will be until that pet comes home. Now imagine that pet is a kangaroo wearing jean diapers.
Oh.
Yes, that is the story here in Wisconsin. We've been following it with unparalleled attention because Chesney, the 16-month-old kangaroo, who escaped outside an enclosure in Naseda on March 25th after being frightened by some unknown dogs, is home.
Oh, thank goodness.
I know.
was
Take a
worried.
breath. Chesney usually resides at the Sunshine Farm Petting Zoo, which sounds like where Snoopy came from, but it's not. Now, he got a lot of online attention, this Chesney, because he bolted. So Sunshine Farm's owner, Debbie Marland, confirmed with the Milwaukee Journal-Sentinel that the kangaroo is home. There are 2 kangaroos, Chesney and Kenny. Get it? Get it?
Nope.
You don't get it, Parker?
Nope.
Kenny Chesney is a huge country music star.
Oh, I do know. Okay. Yes, I
Yes.
do know that name. Okay.
So Chesney and Kenny usually stay in the house because they're part of the family, which, all right. People who have exotic animals in their homes,
That's a
I
large pet.
wonder about them. I don't cast judgment. I just wonder about them. So Chesney's comfortable. The family has 5 dogs. Chesney loves these dogs. They're fine. But on the morning of March 25th, oh boy, he was in the outdoor enclosure and several unknown dogs approached. That shark music, but I don't have attacking dog music. Chesney became frightened. He scaled the enclosure wall and hopped over the fence. Lesson number 1 for Sunshine Farm Petting Zoo. Put a top on that enclosure.
Yeah, kangaroos can jump.
Yeah, and Chesney obviously a flight risk at this point. So the search for Chesney Chesney had a big lead before anybody knew he was gone. So he was out there, and just before 1:30 on March 28th, a drone spotted him. Then 8 people split into 2 groups. They tried to get him. They surrounded Chesney, but he's wily, not a coyote, a kangaroo, and he escaped. Yes. So then Saturday morning, the search continued, and they put out a call for any volunteers to drive down the street where Chesney had been spotted. Early Saturday afternoon, it was reported that he had been found and was on his way home. Now, I don't know if he was tackled and thrown in a car and then brought home, but I wouldn't want to wrestle a kangaroo.
Yeah, how do
or
you-
if he just decided, oh man, being out here is I don't like it. I like my enclosure. Where are my dog friends at home? Where's Kenny? I got to get back to Kenny.
Yeah.
We don't know how he got home, but he's home. And I was shocked when I saw the picture that the kangaroo was dressed like John Cena in jean shorts, but Parker pointed out to me that's to cover up his diaper, which makes sense because I don't know. We were theorizing during the show within a show, which is always on the YouTube stream, if you could potty train or house train a kangaroo. I don't know.
I mean, you probably can. I would assume, right?
I would assume that you can teach them to go outside, or maybe the coyotes have the kangaroos have a tell when they need to go to the bathroom. Like one of my dogs will go to the door and scratch, the other one will just whine. So maybe kangaroos have a similar tell when they have to go to the bathroom. But
Maybe
they
their
also could just
tails or
lean back
something.
on their tail and kick the door out.
See, that's, I'm picturing like a doggy door.
For a
And the
kangaroo?
Yeah.
Now, is it
And
at the
it's a
top of the door
full-size-
so they have to jump through it, or is it on the
Ooh.
bottom of the door so they slither through on their belly?
I don't mind that idea. I was picturing like
I don't either.
I was picturing the kangaroo like leans back, kicks the door open, and it's like slowly comes back down, so it's got plenty of time to go out the door.
Oh, okay. So
Yeah.
you put a giant hand like a push bar on, and the
Yeah,
kangaroo
yeah.
uses its feet to
Do
push
that.
the.
Yeah.
All right,
and the
listen,
hinge is at the top.
Parker, you should take that on Shark Tank. Sell it for everybody who has kangaroos as pets.
All your kangaroo pets will now be able to get outside on their own.
If you're listening on WMDX, you're going to be leaving, but you can always listen on the stream. Download that. For the rest of you, we will be back with Hour 3 and so much more. It's Daybreak. I'm Brian Noonan on the Civic Media Network.
All right. I'm going to be honest. I was a little bummed that the kangaroo was brought home as quickly as it was.
Yeah, because
'Cause
we
I
wanted to do like a
really-
kangaroo
I
update.
really wanted to do the kangaroo tracker.
I did too. I wanted us to have a drone pilot or a helicopter pilot. We're flying over Nina right now. No sights of kangaroos. I do see a wily deer rutting with another deer, but that's neither here nor there. Let's carry on to the outback and see if we can find Chesney.
Did you do that in your audition
For
for your
SNL?
radio gigs? Well, for all
No.
of it, and be like, yeah.
I never
What,
auditioned.
sir?
I mean,
Mr.
here was like a month-long audition, I guess.
Yeah, let's go back to early 2000s and the 90s. Sir, Mr. Noonan, what makes you think you're qualified for this job? Oh yeah,
I can hit
You don't
the
think I'm
post and do time in
qualified?
10:30.
Check this out.
This is my helicopter pilot. This is the traffic guy.
And they just threw down their their readers, and say, "God, you're talented.
He's a
Hired.
genius.
Hired."
Do you know the line? Can you walk the line between being offending the FCC and just being edgy? Can you get into shock jockery?
This man can do it all. Give me your throw up radio voice.
Yeah.
Hey,
It's 8:01, 1 minute after 8, 59 minutes in front of 9 o'clock. 75 degrees in downtown Madison. It's a great day. Happy Monday. I hope you don't have a case of the Mondays as you head out the door today. Oh, now we've got Monday by the Archies coming up.
Good God.
Yep.
coming at you live
Coming
from
at you.
on
Oh,
top
we're
of
always
State
coming at you.
Street
Coming at you.
in Madison, the capital. We're going to send our producer Parker down with a sign wearing nothing but a Speedo down to the Capitol. He's going to go
Parker's
ask
getting
Derek
dipped.
Van Orden a question.
We're going to dip Parker in cheese curd batter and then deep fry him. Then you can all come and gnaw a piece off of Parker's ass. Why is it just on our WRJN's website?
Couldn't tell you.
WRJN.
Milwaukee thing? I don't know.
Oh, is that the Milwaukee station?
If I
Is
remember
that the?
correctly. Or no, that's a Racine one, actually.
Well, that would be the Milwaukee.
I don't make
Wow.
the contests. I just send
I
the
understand.
talking
I just
points.
wanted to. Thank you. I'm glad you did. I just wanted to double check.
John Mulaney was in Madison, I think this summer, and I was
He
bummed
was,
that
and
I didn't know until
I didn't
like the
either.
day after. I was really bummed. I just seen him.
If
Maybe I
somebody
could win these
huge is
tickets.
coming to Madison, I mean, is that so far outside the parameters of the program that we wouldn't
No.
want to try to get somebody?
I don't think so. Yeah,
For
you
a
just
7?
you never know. You really never know with, and this is just, I mean, even working in
Shoot your shot.
Chicago and Toledo, it's the same thing. I think the industry has changed so much with doing promotion like that.
Yeah.
Most people just don't do it anymore for any
Right.
size market.
Yeah. Well, I just meant like not that they would do it for us, but that we would want to do it at all.
Yeah. I mean, you know me. I'm always
Yeah.
down.
He'll clown.
Yeah.
I'm down to clown.
Who isn't?
Jamie today.
Jamie is not. Hopefully she's sleeping more than an hour and a half.
True. Do
Yeah.
you like that? I was like, Amanda, I promise you, we're not just
Yeah.
the man show.
That's true.
That was really
Wow,
funny.
this is great. I
Yeah.
got 3 dudes.
I'm really, I swear, when I
Yeah.
booked this.
Yeah, but even if we were, it's still pretty,
No, it's great. It was
silver
just
and
funny.
light.
I was like,
it does make sense because I'd
just
be
a
the
heads
same way. I'm
up.
like,
It's just a bunch of dudes.
don't you even have a traffic girl or somebody to just giggle at all the guy talk and say, "Oh, you guys are nasty."
boss is out today. The minions are at play.
And we're still getting it done.
Part.
We're still getting it done.
Get her done.
We got to get her done.
It is really weird not having anything to look at across from me.
Oh yeah, you're all by yourself.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Jeez.
Just
3
like the
solo dudes. We're like the incel of radio. 3 guys alone in their room on the internet. How sad. Somebody on the who's watching on the stream, send us a message so we don't feel so alone. We know Alicia's listening. Give us a female injection there for a minute, Alicia. That came out weird, but you know what I mean.
We should have offered Alicia to co-host for the day.
Oh, there you
Maybe
go.
that's a contest we do down the road.
That would
if
be
somebody's
fun.
taking a
Yeah.
vacation.
Our next fill-in.
Yeah, like a Friday. Maybe in August when I'm gone on that Friday, you have a listener co-host. We'd have to come up with a contest to get somebody qualified or halfway qualified.
I feel like you'd have to submit like a demo.
Yeah.
like an audition.
Yeah.
And then we play them.
Here's your but here's the deal. You have to sit on the line as we watch and listen back to it like an air check.
We got 10 seconds.
All facts, no fiction. It's Daybreak with Brian and Jamie.
Good morning and welcome to hour 3 of the big show. Glad you are with us. It's 8:06. I'm Brian Noonan. Jamie Martinson out today. She's a little under the weather. She will be back hopefully tomorrow, and then things will get back to normal because right now it's freewheeling. And when the inmates run the asylum, it's it's a whole different thing. Speaking of that beautiful day, this is a day to get outside. It's going to be in Madison today. It's going to be up in the 70s. Across Wisconsin, it's going to be sunny and beautiful. Do it now because tomorrow will still be warm, but it's supposed to rain. So if you want to get out, if you can find some time today to get out, look at that shot of State Street. Oh, the sun is shining. There's nobody out there, though. They're not heeding my words.
No, there isn't anyone out here, which
That's
is
not-
weird because
that's-
it is absolutely gorgeous out here.
I was going to say, that's not a pile of snow over there. That's a traffic partition or a construction thing across the street.
Because,
isn't it?
it's Wisconsin. There's plenty
Well,
of
that's fine.
construction.
I was just looking at it. I'm like, that can't be snow. No, it's beautiful.
We finally
So-
got rid of our snow.
Did you really?
The other day, we finally got rid of all of our snow because we get a ton of it when the snowplow comes.
Because you live on a cul-de-sac.
Yeah,
So you just get it all
high.
dumped at you?
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah,
that would be awful.
but no,
We
it's gorgeous.
everything dried out. The dogs have not been muddy, and now it's supposed to rain the rest of the week. So,
Lovely.
well. Yeah, that's the way to do it. Hey, listen, I've been told to do a couple things. First of all, if you want to go see John Mulaney, we're going to give you a chance to see John Mulaney because he is coming to the Wisconsin State Fair. And tickets are going on sale. Well, they're on sale now, but you don't have to buy tickets when we give you a chance to win them. Here's what you have to do. Now, pay attention. You have to go to WRJN.com, and you'll see right on the homepage, there's on the carousel, there's something that says win tickets to see John Mulaney. Click on that, fill out the little form. There you go. You're in. The contest. Very simple. You know John Mulaney. He's a frequent guest host on Saturday Night Live because he started there as a writer. He's been in all kinds of things, and he's coming to the State Fair with his Mr. Whatever tour. So go there and fill that out. And while you're on the internet anyway, because you're going to WRJN to enter the contest, why not go on Facebook or Instagram or both and look at our new pages, Daybreak with Brian and Jamie. Like those, follow those, and we appreciate it because we finally, Jamie would be very happy. We've surpassed the amount we need to stream the show on Facebook now as well as YouTube. Now we just have to wait to be in existence long enough, which is coming shortly, but we have enough people. We can always use more. We want you to be as involved with the show as you can, and you're going to see things. I actually have something that this is what we should be talking about in the meeting, Parker, but I'll just give a quick mention now to you and Frank that I have something I want to bring up for a possible social media post for Easter. So remind me, don't let me forget to bring that up later because I really don't pay attention to anything that comes out of my mouth. Except what I'm talking about, the headlines coming out of the Middle East. We are in week 4 of our war in Iran. Well, here's some headlines. A text message campaign is calling on Iranians to volunteer to defend the country against a threatened U.S. ground operation. That, according to copies of messages seen by the Associated Press. One message declared, quote, a national campaign for those willing to sacrifice their lives. And then they had a link to register to, quote, defend the country's territory. A second similar text message suggested volunteers would soon see deployment. So this is escalating not only on our part as we send more troops into the region, but Iran is showing absolutely no signs of giving up. And I know that seems to be what the administration thought was going to happen from the beginning, that they would just bomb Iran and Iran would say, okay, we're done. They didn't pay attention to Iran's history. Iran's parliament speaker, Mohammad Bagher Qualibaf, dismissed the talks in Pakistan as a cover after some 2,500 U.S. Marines trained in amphibious landings on the ground amphibious landings arrived in the Middle East. He said Iranian forces were waiting for the arrival of American troops on the ground to set them on fire and punish their regional partners forever. That, according to Iranian state media, that does not sound like the kind of talk coming from a country that is ready to end anything. The death toll from the war has risen to more than 1,900 people in Iran, over 1,200 in Lebanon, 19 in Israel, and 13 U.S. military members, as well as a number of civilians on land and sea in the Gulf region. Millions of people in Lebanon and Iran have been displaced. President Trump said on social media that his administration, quote, is in serious discussions with Iran to end military operations, but he threatened mass destruction to the country's energy resources unless a deal is reached, quote unquote, shortly. His tweet on Truth Social said, quote, great progress has been made, but if for any reason a deal is not shortly reached, which it probably will be, if the Hormuz Strait is not immediately open for business, we will conclude our lovely stay in Iran by blowing up and completely obliterating all of their electric generating plants, oil wells, and the Karg Island, and possibly all desalinization plants. So, nothing like trying to, if you really are trying to ease tensions and end the conflict, nothing like making outrageous threats and putting a time limit on them to get people to really take your peace talks seriously. And it doesn't seem... Now, Marco Rubio the other day said this is going to be over in 2 to 4 weeks. But listening to the rhetoric coming from both sides, from our administration and from the Iranians, it doesn't seem like 2 to 4 weeks is a realistic timetable. It just, I don't know, it's scary. All right, Parker, we needed to know that, but there's some other stuff we need to know.
It's a wake-up call in more ways than one. Time for some you need to know.
It's always time for that stuff that you need to know. Always, always, always. Let's start close to home because with depending on where you sit, good news or bad news, I guess. But Tony Evers signed 27 bills, including measures focused on public health. That's good. Consumer protections. That sounds good. Transportation projects. Yeah, I'm down. And updates to outdated laws. So that all sounds great. Several bills to modernize laws and adjust for inflation, including expanding protections under the Wisconsin Consumer Act and increasing small claim court limits. New laws also address public safety and enforcement, such as tougher penalties for repeat retail theft and faster testing for communicable diseases to protect first responders. Other changes impact everyday life, including updates to highway project approvals, expanded bingo rules for local businesses. Listen, that right now, every senior's ears perked up when I said that. What did he say about bingo? This guy better not be touching our bingo. We're just updating the rules. You're good. You're all right. Recreational vehicle regulations and new hospital price transparency requirements. I think that right there should have been done a long time ago. Because I don't care when you've been in the hospital. If you look at the bill afterwards, you are shocked. And I was really shocked the first time I went in the hospital, and it was like McDonald's, because behind the counter in admitting, there was a price list. And it was like an MRI, this much. Vaccinated, this much. Chest x-ray, this much. And I was like, who would ever do that? And I thought, you know what? If you're worried about your insurance coverage or whatever, at least you can kind of have an idea. And not that you're going to go, well, you know what? I know my heart just exploded, but I can't pay those prices. And you just walk out. You're still going to go, but at least you can brace yourself a little bit before you get in there. All right, back to stuff you need to know. Oh, the president has ratcheted up his attacks on NATO. The United States may stop promising to defend its NATO allies should they come under attack. That, according to the president on Friday, it escalated his verbal barrage against the alliance as his frustration grows that European leaders have not significantly contributed to his war against Iran. And I think the key word there is his war and Netanyahu's war. He sought nobody's approval. He has done nothing but try to alienate our allies, since he came back into office. He has consistently badmouthed NATO during both terms. And now he started a war. And when other people were like, well, we don't want to get involved in this. It's not our fight. It really wasn't your fight because you haven't proven that there was any urgent need to start this war. You've given no justification for this. Now he's upset. Donald Trump went on, he told a Miami Beach investment conference, and guess who that was sponsored by, Parker? The Saudi Sovereign Wealth Fund.
Oh.
Yeah, same people who paid Jared, not where he got the big plane, but that's all right. He told them, quote, NATO just wasn't there when he asked for help with the war. He went on to say, it was a tremendous mistake by the Europeans. We spend hundreds of billions of dollars a year on NATO, hundreds protecting them, and we would have always been there for them. But now, based on their actions, I guess we don't have to be. Sounds like when he didn't get the Peace Prize and said now he doesn't have to focus on peace. And then guess what? He went and started a war. So good. And I'm wondering, at this point, how many European countries are upset by that statement, or they're just like, okay, we didn't really expect you to help us out anyway, and we'll just pray that nothing happens till the next administration. He's been critical of European allies who says they've taken advantage of the United States. In recent months, he has grown publicly more bellicose toward them, first over his desire to seize Greenland, a Danish territory, and then over the war. And finally, why not? The president has openly mused about seizing Iran's Karg Island oil terminal in the Persian Gulf, and the United States and Israel have kept up their attacks today on the Islamic Republic. Tehran, meanwhile, has attacked key water and electrical plants in Kuwait, part of its campaign targeting the Gulf Arab states, and an oil refinery in northern Israel. Diplomatic effort is being facilitated by Pakistan. It's trying to end that war. It moved ahead today. Trump said Iran had agreed to allow 20 oil tankers through the Strait of Hormuz starting Monday as a, quote, sign of respect. Maybe we take the Karg Island. Maybe we don't, he told the Financial Times in an interview that was published early this morning. We have a lot of options. And again, maybe sometimes you'll let your diplomats do the talking. It's okay to not always be chiming in on social media or in interviews and making threats and wild claims and outright lies that you are being spoken to by heads of Iran when everybody knows you are really not. But we'll just keep letting him talk and see what happens. And we'll keep an eye on it. And as things develop, if anything breaks, obviously while we're on, we will get to that. And just stay tuned to the network throughout the day. And if not, we'll have more headlines on this tomorrow. All right, when we come back, I want to hear from you about your reaction to what happened with the TSA funding over the weekend and the House Republicans. Are they still going to be able to blame the Democrats after it is very, very obvious who was in charge of this walkout? So we'll get to all that. We'll work on that, and then don't forget after 8:30 Judge Chris Taylor is going to join us. You know she is running for Supreme Court here in Wisconsin, so we'll talk to Judge Taylor and find out why she thinks you should vote for her. We have talked to all the candidates, and we're trying to get them on too. So Maria Lazar, if you are listening or if your people are listening, we would love to speak with you as well. So just get a hold of us or answer our emails and we'll get a hold of you. All right, let's do that. And then there's more. It's the Civic Media Network.
Okay.
We're rolling right along.
Rolling.
We're keeping them doggies rolling.
Ride. Like a hot dog roller. Just keep on rolling. Keep it warm.
I have never, in all my years, and I've eaten a lot of garbage out of gas stations and stuff, I have never bought a hot dog off a roller.
Really?
Nope. I don't.
Yeah,
I don't trust how long they've been there.
I
will
mean,
buy like a quick.
There's got to be one that's years old.
Yeah, and you can kind of tell. Now, I've gotten a like a breakfast sausage thing off of there because those look fresh, and I'm
sure
they're fresher because I'm guessing they don't leave them there all day. I could be wrong. And I'll go like in Quick Trip. I'll get all that, some of the stuff on the warming rack.
Mm-hmm.
I'll eat all that, but the hot dogs on the roller, I got to stay away from.
Not trying to take a risk, huh?
My whole life has been taking health risks by what I ate, Parker. It's not that, because I'll go wild on a cheeseburger that's on one of those heat racks. I don't know what kind of meat's in that cheeseburger. I don't care. Quick Trip has these little tiny burritos. Like one is a breakfast one, and then they have like a pepperoni pizza one. Delicious.
Okay,
I used to eat those like there was no tomorrow. But I don't know what it is about I guess I'm particular about my hot dogs.
I mean, to be fair, hot dogs are a kind of strange meat to begin with.
Yeah, and I only like, and maybe I'm bougie. I only like all beef hot dogs. No, I just want an all beef hot dog. I don't.
Okay, that's valid.
Hebrew National Vienna beef, ballpark all beef. Whatever. I don't like when I was a kid. We ate the Oscar Mario wieners and stuff, and those are great for little kids and stuff. But
by the way, Alicia was listening.
Oh, thank you, Alicia, for injecting. Wednesdays I'm off. All right, thank you. We will keep that in mind. Just so, thank you, Alicia. Very good for injecting. Thank you. The female perspective.
Yeah, 10 seconds.
I was like,
here.
wait a minute. What? Oh, yes. Oh,
Local voices, statewide impact. It's Daybreak with Brian and Jamie.
It is Brian Noonan. This is Daybreak. You heard the man with the voice. He's not lying, except for the fact that Jamie is not here today. She'll be back with us tomorrow. Hopefully she's feeling better, getting a little rest, and she'll be able to rejoin the program. And we'll see what happens on a Tuesday. What do you think? What are the Parker? What are we laying odds? We're gonna.
Oh yeah,
bet?
we could do. Yeah, I'm
going to say yes. I can't see
saying
Jamie
yes.
unless she's on her deathbed taking more than one day off.
That's true. That's a very good point. I half expect her to come to our post-show meeting.
Yeah, or I expected her to call in at some point and just go, I'm
true.
going to be okay, fellas. Don't worry.
That's a good point.
Don't worry, I'm here.
She's committed.
She's dedicated. That's what we're saying.
Yeah.
Jamie is dedicated. Me, I have a hangnail. You won't see me for a week and a half. But I'm soft. We're not going to lie about it. All right, listen. When are the Republicans going to stop blaming Democrats for everything? Especially the funding of DHS. 855-75-CIVIC, 855-752-4842. I want to get your opinion on what happened over the weekend, because for a brief moment on Friday, we thought TSA was being funded. We thought FEMA was being funded. We thought the Coast Guard was being funded. Everything was being funded except for more money for ICE, which they don't really need right now because ICE is already funded through the big, beautiful bill. Remember, they have billions of dollars. We saw something happen in the Senate that we hadn't seen in a while. We saw a bipartisan vote that was unanimous. For those of you not paying attention, that means everybody, Republicans and Democrats in the Senate, all voted for a bill that would fund DHS. And it would take care of all this. It would end the longest partial shutdown in history. TSA agents would have been paid on Friday, which was their payday. Everything was going to plan. And then, now, did it go completely to plan for Democrats? No, because they had to make some concessions. And you know what? That's part of negotiating. That's part of the deal. Nobody ever gets everything they want, unless you're the president, who seems to get anything he wants because he's got people like Mike Johnson. And Mike Johnson, who is the Speaker of the House and also a Republican, took that deal from the Senate that said, let's pay these people. And Mike Johnson said, no. He marched out of his office Friday afternoon. He was very angry. One, because he was supposed to be letting everybody in the House go home, and now he had to stay and deal with this. He angrily rebuked the plan that the Senate had unanimously agreed on. He called it a joke, and he said, I have to protect the House, and I have to protect the American people. So not only did he denounce the plan, he denounced Republican senators. And he went after Majority Leader John Thune, who is also a Republican. Now Thune had been negotiating this for weeks with the Democrats, and it was going back and forth. And you remember the president said, don't make any deals with the Democrats unless it involved the SAVE Act. And Thune rightfully said, we don't have the votes to pass the SAVE Act. So, but they also hear that all these people are waiting to travel. All these TSA agents are either quitting or calling in sick because they're being expected to work without pay because they're essential workers. Well, they finally get it done. Thune and Chuck Schumer settled on the deal. It would not include funding for U.S. Immigration and Customs Enforcement, but they already have it. Wouldn't include plans for or payments, more money for Border Patrol, but it would allot money for FEMA, TSA payments, and the Coast Guard. Well, that's it. House Republicans, they didn't even vote on it. It was done. The Republicans said, one Republican, Nick LaLotta from New York, said the Senate chickened out. The cowards there, only a few of them in the middle of the night with, I think, only 3 to 5 senators present on the floor, chickened out because they wanted to go home for 2 weeks. We need to raise the bar. That could be partially true that they wanted to go home, but they could have gone home without a deal like you guys did in the House and left everybody hanging. So what's next for Republicans? Well, Trump has said that legislation to impose strict new proof of citizenship requirements on voting is his top priority. No real path for that plan, as I mentioned, because the Senate would need a 60-vote threshold for advancing the legislation. Some Republicans have pushed instead for a budget package that could potentially put some parts of voter ID in place. And it's not clear what the Senate's going to do next because, well, they're gone for 2 weeks. And a quick resumption of talks is unlikely. Negotiations ended acrimoniously on both sides, each blaming the other for moving the goalposts along the way. But anybody who tells you now that this is a Democratic shutdown is not really following the facts. The Democrats have, in fact, put forth, I believe, 7 different funding bills to get TSA funded. Republicans voted them all down. Now the Senate, whether you liked all the provisions in that bill or not, the Senate did unanimously send a funding bill. So that's Republicans and Democrats. Senate Republicans off the hook for the moment. It all comes down to Mike Johnson and the House Republicans. The entire reason that this is still ongoing is because of them. Now, it's curious to me, and it's probably curious to you, that the president is somehow finding this money, which obviously they've had for a while. This is all, I think, part of the plan to get things riled up, to get Americans upset and distrustful of the TSA. They create a problem, and then they come in and solve it themselves, which is, par for the course, really. All right, when we come back, I'm very excited. We are going to talk to Judge Chris Taylor. She is running for Wisconsin Supreme Court. She is one of the 2 candidates, and she is going to join me to talk about her candidacy, what got her into the race, and so much more. If you have a question, you can text it in, and if I get a chance, I will ask the judge. 855-75-CIVIC is that number. We'll be back with more. I'm Brian Noonan. This is Daybreak, and you are listening, as always, to the Civic Media Network.
All right. Looks like we've got Judge Taylor here. Good morning.
Good morning.
Hello, Judge Taylor. Thank you for being here.
Oh, thanks for having me.
My pleasure. My pleasure. How are you feeling?
Oh, God, so much better. Thanks for asking.
Yeah.
Don't get a kidney stone. That's my advice.
That's good advice. I've heard nothing but horror stories from everybody I know who's had one.
Yeah. Yeah. But you know what? The good news is once it passes. And the symptoms alleviate pretty quickly. So that's the good news.
That's good.
But some poor people, they have to have surgery and all that. Thankfully didn't have to have any of that.
Was this your first time?
You know what? I had one about 16 years ago when I was 6 months pregnant. And so this was better than being pregnant and having it.
Well, sure.
But not much, but it was a little better. But I'm drinking gallons.
There you go.
40-ounce, little water bottle now I bring around with me everywhere. So
Got to stay hydrated.
Mhm.
That's what they say anyway.
Yes.
Well, we're just going to talk about your candidacy and what brought you to this and all that. Nice and easy stuff. I'm sure you've answered a million times.
Yeah.
So,
but happy to answer again.
Good. And the debate's been rescheduled for this Thursday? Is
right.
That right?
Yep.
Okay. That's what I thought. Just double checking everything. And we've got about 3 minutes before we get started. Or 4 minutes.
Yeah, 3.
3? All right. Parker, you know I don't pay attention to the time.
Well, it's not that you don't pay attention to the time. It's that math is hard. Let's be honest.
It is. That's why I
Nobody
talk.
likes it.
No.
Yeah.
That's why I'm not an engineer. I talk for a
Exactly.
living. It's much easier.
And Judge Taylor, just so you know, when we get down to our last couple of minutes during the segment, I'll give you hand signals how many minutes we got left.
Oh, okay.
If you start to hear some music towards the end, that means we just got a couple seconds left, so we got to wrap it up.
Wrap it up. Yeah.
Yep. Awesome. Thank you much. Where are you at, Judge Taylor? Are you in Madison?
Yes, right now. And then I'm
Nice.
going to La Crosse, Eau Claire, and Hudson today.
Wow.
All
Final
today.
week, big push.
Yeah. It's fun. It's so much fun. People are excited. We have so much opportunity to raise our voices. I love it. I love elections.
Well, the good thing is in Wisconsin, you never are without one. There are always so many to pick from.
We haven't had one, Brian, in a year.
Well, yeah, but now we've got
gone
how
a
many
long
this
time
year?
for us.
A whole, I know, a whole year. Whole year.
A whole year.
And we haven't had any lunatics with chainsaws coming to Wisconsin this year, so
Let's hope not.
Oh,
my God.
yeah. Well, let's. Hopefully, they won't make it this week. And
knock on
then we'll worry
something,
about.
wood.
Yeah,
Where's
we'll worry
wood?
about the rest later.
Yeah. Yes, that was something else.
It was crazy. I was on in Milwaukee last year at this time when all that was going on, and it was.
Oh wow!
It was just like, oh, stop.
Well, it did. It raised the visibility of the race.
100%.
This is a much quieter race in some ways because we don't have, which is a good thing. We don't have billionaires trying to win elections. At least not yet.
Yes.
And they're not going to be on my side, that's for sure.
Well, it gets to a point people just get so tired of being bombarded with the same stuff over and over.
Yeah.
All right. We've got 15 seconds till we're back.
Alrighty.
Wisconsin wakes up here. Back to Daybreak with Brian and Jamie.
Good morning. It's 8:35. I'm Brian Noonan. Jamie is out today. She's a little under the weather. We will welcome her back tomorrow. So wherever you are on the network, you know that next Tuesday is Election Day. And if you didn't know, I've already reminded you. Next Tuesday, April 7th, is Election Day. And the Wisconsin Supreme Court race is once again a hotly contested focus in Wisconsin. There are some new numbers, though, that came out of a Marquette Law School poll showing that nearly a third of registered voters in the new poll said they've heard nothing about the Supreme Court race, and more than half haven't decided who to vote for. Well, this year's race hasn't brought the national attention or huge amounts of money from outside Wisconsin that last year's race did. Campaign still very important between conservative appeals court judge Maria Lazar and liberal appeals court judge Chris Taylor. It's coming down to the wire. Judge Chris Taylor joins me now to discuss her campaign and what she hopes she can add to the court. Judge Taylor, thank you for being here. I appreciate you taking time today. I know it's got to be crazy busy before in the final week. But first, a lot of people wondering because of the debate having to be postponed. How are you feeling?
Oh, I'm feeling so good. Thank you so much for asking, Brian. I had a kidney stone, which thankfully passed on Wednesday evening, thankfully. And, I'm feeling really so much better. And I really am grateful for all the well wishes I've received. I've heard so many kidney stone stories. I got to tell you, everywhere I go, people have experienced with a kidney stone. So I was really disappointed to miss a debate, but it's coming up this Thursday, 7:00. So I hope you all watch.
Yes, we were all ready for it last week, and then we got the sad news that you were ill. So it's coming back. You still have time to watch the debate, and if you're one of these people who haven't made up your mind, I would, no matter who you may be leading to, watch the debate. Those are always helpful. All right. Before we get into the specifics of your campaign, there's something that we talk about here a lot, and I wanted to get your opinion on it. We always wonder, aren't the courts supposed to be non-political? So how do you feel as a candidate for the Wisconsin Supreme Court about judicial candidates being associated with different political parties?
Well, I don't like that particularly because I have a record of being a very fiercely independent, fair judge. I'm not running on a partisan platform. I'm not running on any specific agenda except to make sure the people of the state of Wisconsin get justice, to make sure they're prioritized, not the billionaires and the most powerful, to make sure their rights are protected, our democracy is protected, our elections are protected, and to make sure that we have a strong court that is going to resist this overreach of the federal government that is coming in and trying to take away some of our state's independence. So I think those are the issues that people really care about, and those are not partisan issues. Those are issues that we expect our judiciary to perform, and those are things that I care about deeply.
That seems to be the consensus that's what the judiciary should be doing, just analyzing the law and going for that. Since you brought it up, what are some of the biggest potential overreaches that you're concerned about as your campaign is winding down?
Well, I was very concerned about what I saw in Minnesota, that we saw mass federal agents kill 2 American citizens and the use of violence against seemingly peaceful protesters. So I think we have got to have a strong court here in Wisconsin that is going to make sure when people violate our rights and our Constitution, they're going to be held accountable. Minnesota is not even able to do an independent investigation because of the lack of cooperation from the federal government. They're not even able to do a complete criminal investigation. I think that is wrong. I think the other issue that's going to keep coming back to us is challenges to our elections. My opponent was endorsed in the past by people who led the effort in trying to overturn our 2020 election. Our state Supreme Court resisted those efforts to overturn our election. There was no evidence of fraud. It was a valid election. But our state Supreme Court rejected efforts to overturn our election by only 1 vote. That's it. And so I think we're going to continue to see this effort where the state of Wisconsin's now being sued by the federal government. They want to get our personal private voting information. And we have to stand strong for our rights and for our Constitution, for our people.
Wisconsin Supreme Court candidate Judge Chris Taylor is my guest. If this election, as we've said, has not gotten the outside attention that last year's Supreme Court race has. And it mostly is because the balance of the court is not up for grabs. But that's not completely the case, because we still want, if you're a Democrat, you still want to try to get another liberal-leaning judge on there to give a little buffer, correct? What other reasons do you think that this, besides that one, are there other reasons, in your opinion, that the race isn't getting as much attention as it did last year?
Well, I really characterize myself as being pro-democracy.
Okay.
I believe the people should be at the center of their government, not at the periphery. And I believe courts need to be committed to prioritizing the rights and freedoms of the people of the state of Wisconsin. I think this race, I do think people care deeply about having a court that they trust, that they have faith in. But we haven't had, thank goodness, the out-of-state billionaires come in and try to buy a seat. And, so I think mostly that's a really good thing. But as a result, this doesn't have this high profile of last year when we had Elon Musk come in here and spend $47 million. So my campaign is being fueled and being supported by the people of the state of Wisconsin. And I'm really proud of that. Over 20,000 people have supported my campaign all around the state of Wisconsin. The average donation is less than $100. So I am running a grassroots campaign. This is about the people. This is what it's about, what kind of justice they deserve, what kind of court they deserve.
You brought up an interesting statement about trust for people. People should trust the courts. If you are elected on the court, how do you go about getting the public, who at this point may be a little wary of not only the state Supreme Court, but government in general? How do you start to rebuild that trust?
Well, the other thing I should add, Brian, from my last answer that I think is important before I answer this really good question is, we might have a pro-democracy majority right now on this court, but we have 4 elections coming up after mine. So the composition of the court is very much in flux. No one should feel good and feel secure because of how many elections that are coming up. So how I build trust and help build trust in the judiciary is by transparency. We need to invite the people in to watch what we do. Our proceedings at the state Supreme Court level are streamed. We also need to go out into communities. I was really heartened that our state Supreme Court now is taking justice on the road, justice on wheels, and they are going out into communities and having their oral arguments so people can see what we do. But I'm not a judge that just sits in my office and writes opinions. I am out in the community. I have gone all over the 24 counties that elected me to the Court of Appeals before I was running for re-election. I did presentations with my colleagues. We had dialogue with the bar, the attorneys, the circuit court judges. I think it's imperative that I be a fiercely independent judge, but I don't want to be isolated. I think judges are part of the fabric of their communities, and we have got to get out and be in communities so people can see us, hear us, and have faith in what we do as judges.
Judge Chris Taylor is a candidate for the Wisconsin Supreme Court. She's with me now, which is I'm very happy to have you here. All right. Since there were a lot of people in this poll that said they didn't really know a lot about the candidates, so let's give them some information. First of all, what do you see as the biggest differences between you and your opponent?
In one sentence, the biggest difference is I have spent my 30-year legal career as an attorney, as a law and policy director for Planned Parenthood, as a legislator, and now for the last 6 years as a judge, protecting people's rights and freedoms and making sure that everyone has equal justice under the law. My opponent has spent a large part of her legal career rolling back people's rights, taking away rights. She was Scott Walker's attorney, defending the rollback of working people's rights, defending the rollback of reproductive health access for women, defending what some election experts called the most gerrymandered legislative maps in the last 40 years. That's what what she did as an attorney while I was working in private practice, representing regular people who had legal problems, when I was working at Planned Parenthood, to make sure that women had access to reproductive health care and the ability to make their own personal private health care decisions. And then as a judge, I am fiercely protective of people's constitutional rights. I do my research. I am scrupulous in the application of the law. I have never been reversed by any higher court. My opponent puts her thumb on the scale, and she time and time again rules in favor of the big corporate interests and the right-wing special interests. She's been reversed repeatedly because she does not apply the law in a fair and impartial way. And so I bring a very unique legal background and a huge lifelong commitment to people, to making sure that the law is being used to improve their lives, to protect their rights, and to make sure that they get justice.
Well, Judge Taylor, a lot of people say, oh, we don't really know these candidates. We hear their stories, we hear their platforms, but is there a way to humanize them? And I read a piece that you did with the Journal-Sentinel that I thought humanized you a lot, and you gave the credit for the basis of your whole legal life to your grandmother. Can you share that story real quick?
Sure. Well, one thing I learned, Brian, growing up is that the law can be a really powerful tool to improve people's lives. My grandmother was a single mother to my mother for most of my mother's childhood and most of my mother's life. And she really struggled to make ends meet, like so many working Wisconsin families, until she got a union job. And that union job enabled my grandmother to earn a fair wage and to support her 3 kids. It was still hard, but she was able to help them all go to college. They all became public school teachers. My mom was a 5th grade public school teacher when I was growing up. And I learned from her that the law can allow people not just to survive. I want people in the state of Wisconsin to thrive. I want them to live their dreams. And the law has a piece of that in strengthening our communities and creating opportunities for people. And that story in my grandmother's life have inspired me throughout my entire life.
Well, that's a touching story. And, you know, if anybody who has a close relationship with their grandparents or did while they were around knows that kind of feeling. So that was... Sometimes I feel disconnected from candidates because I don't know that they have real story. It's like you came out of the candidate machine, and it's like, no, candidates are real people. And I love what you said about getting out in the communities and being part of the communities, because you're not just ivory tower. I will say that we have put out an invitation to your opponent. She has not responded, but Maria Lazar is welcome here as well before next week. Judge Chris Taylor, thank you for your time today. Everybody, don't forget, if you're still thinking, well, I don't know much about the election, stop, do some research. The debate is rescheduled for this Thursday night. We're glad you're feeling better. Good luck with the final week of the campaign. And again, thanks so much for being with us today. I really appreciate it.
Thanks, Brian. And everybody vote. You can early vote now as well.
Yes, go early vote. Make sure you vote no matter what, because then your voice is heard. Somehow your voice will be heard. Judge Chris Taylor, thanks again. Have a great rest of your day.
Thank you, Brian. Bye-bye.
You're welcome. All right, when we come back, there's more. Oh, the hard-hitting issues when we come back. We go from Supreme Court race to a little Easter candy debate, because that's what we do here on the Civic Media Network.
Thanks so much, Brian.
You're very welcome. Good luck. Judge. Good luck. You're welcome. Fingers crossed.
We can do it.
I hope so. Take care. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. Have a good day.
Look at that. Interviewing judges. We're interviewing ladies.
Solo.
So fun.
So fun.
Yeah. I didn't
know.
I kept thinking, I was like, all right, I was trying not to ask softballs, but.
No, I liked your question out the gate. I think it's, especially with judges, that's really interesting. Why are we categorized into parties?
Right.
Yeah.
She's pro-democracy.
Shouldn't we all be?
And she didn't, she didn't spend a lot of time going as an attack. Was able to get, when you ask the differences, of course, that's going to lead to that. And I knew that. But the other stuff, she was actually saying what she wanted to do.
I really liked her point about not being reversed. I've never been this in tune with a Supreme Court race before, but like that is a really good kind of
if you've never been reversed,
measure.
that means you're doing pretty good, I would imagine.
Yeah.
What do I know? But I think like a lot of voters. So if you've made the right decision, or courts have upheld your decisions all the time, all right, then you must know what you're doing.
Pretty good.
Yeah, that's pretty good.
Pretty good.
Gentlemen, we are so close.
Can almost taste it.
Almost.
You know, I can almost taste Cadbury
Coffee?
egg. Cadbury
Oh, boom. There we go. Cadbury egg.
That's what you call a tease live stream.
It was a tease. Very good. Very good. Yeah, I was like, oh, well, this is we always end on a light note, so let's try to get some engagement as we leave. A little candy talk. Candy all. Debbie had her first Cadbury mini egg last night.
What?
I know.
First one.
She did, not me. I eat them like they're,
The mini eggs are the best.
The mini eggs are so good. And I like M&Ms. They put M&Ms to shame.
Yeah, we can't really buy the mini eggs in this house.
I
Too
try not
tempting.
to. Yeah, I've been like Debbie's bought them. I haven't. I'll buy if I'm at the store and I see one of those little tiny packs for $1. I'll buy that. But Debbie
It's
brought
like you
home,
want to be festive, but
I know. She brought
only
home a
the
couple
two of
bags
us.
over the last few weeks. Oh, I saw a bag at Costco. It was like 4 pounds. And I was like,
Can't do that.
Dude, I'd be dead. I would literally be dead because I'd eat them in one sitting.
right.
Yeah, 10 seconds.
I have zero willpower.
From Lake Superior to Lake Michigan, this is Wisconsin's Morning Conversation. Daybreak with Brian and Jamie.
Good morning. All morning I've been waiting for. I'm like Pavlov's dog. I hear the big voice guy end, and I wait for Jamie to say it's 6:52 now,
Right.
and do her thing. Jamie's not here. She's sick. She'll be back hopefully tomorrow. So I've been pausing. That's my version of pouring one out for my sister who ain't here. I pour one out for Jamie and give that pause when she usually does the rejoin. Thanks for being here. 855-75-CIVIC, 855-75-CIVIC. Which do you prefer, friends? A Cadbury cream egg or Peeps? And if neither one, then what is your preference? And I will tell you why I'm asking. But first, I must tell you that John Mulaney is coming to the Wisconsin State Fair. Woohoo! Do you want to go see him for free? Yes, you do. Because why on earth would you pay if we'll give you tickets? How do you get those tickets? Well, you go to WRJN.com. That's right, WRJN.com. You'll see the John Mulaney page right there on the homepage. Click that, fill out the short form, and hit send. That's it. You're in. You are qualified to win. You have until Sunday, April 5th to enter. Easter, is that a tie into the next story? It might be. Coincidence? I don't think so. So, John Mulaney, you know him from Saturday Night Live. You know him from various TV and movies. John Mulaney at the Wisconsin State Fair with his Mr. Whatever tour. So make sure you are there. Go ahead and go to WRJN.com and fill out your entry. Also, while you're on the internet, go to Facebook and Instagram. Our new Daybreak with Brian and Jamie pages are there. We are always looking. We're building them from nothing, folks. This is a bootstrap show, a grassroots. We're building this show up from nothing. And look how far it's come. Grassroots and brass what? I don't know. But let's get it done, folks. We appreciate your support there. And tell your friends, tell your enemies, tell your dog. The dog really can't do anything, but sometimes they're the only ones that'll listen to you. So make sure you do that. All right. Let's do an impromptu poll here on the show. Frank, Peeps or Cadbury eggs?
I would take the Cadbury egg over the Peep any day.
All right, Parker.
Eggs.
Nice. It's a tie. If it's the Cadbury cream egg versus the Peep, I'm Peep, 100%.
Really?
I don't like the cream egg. I love the cranberry. The Cadbury mini eggs are as addictive to me as any opioid.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The cream eggs, no gracias. Pass.
Yeah, but
Pass-a-roo.
Peeps just suck in general.
They don't. That is a bad
No,
take.
they do. Parker, do you even like Peeps? You like Peeps?
I honestly don't know if I've had Peeps. I know.
See, Parker
I know.
hasn't even had one.
Hold on.
Parker
hold
hasn't
on,
even
hold
been
on.
How does he
compelled
vote?
enough to eat one.
Hold your
He's
horses,
old
boys.
enough. They're everywhere.
They're everywhere. We've gotten them. We just blow them up in the microwave. We don't actually eat them.
There you go. That says everything you need to know, Brian.
See?
Well, yeah, that Parker lives in a strange home where they waste money on things that they just like. Go buy Shrinky Dinks if you want to heat
that's
something
sick.
up and watch it. Yeah, that is weird. It's like
That's pretty
it's like you
weird.
want to put a real bunny or chicken in the microwave, but you know that would be frowned upon.
It's
So you're
just-
like, the next best thing is to watch a peep suffer, and then
Yeah,
imagine that it's a
science
real
experiment.
chicken.
It's a science experiment because
That you do every year?
It blows up.
Yeah.
I don't know about every year.
Don't
no.
you write
I
down the
don't think so.
data? Don't you? Do you have to keep it? They haven't changed the recipe. They do
Oh.
change the recipe all the time.
Brian,
but-
it's all up here. I've got it.
Okay.
Yeah.
See, this is the same argument I have with people about candy corn. I love candy corn. I like
Oh,
Peeps, but this is not the reason I ask. Not just because I'm trying to kill time before I get out of here, but
3 minutes.
but there is Target released a new study that found when it comes to selecting Easter candy, which is Sunday. Now, if you're old me, you wait till Monday and then you ravage the 75% off and 50% off racks for Easter candy. But buy your candy beforehand. 61% of the United States gravitates toward Cadbury cream eggs compared to Peep. That's on sales that Target reported between March 16th and April 20th of last year. 30 states prefer Cadbury eggs, while 20 states prefer Peeps. Western and southern states seem to prefer Peeps. Midwest, Washington, D.C., Cadbury. Wisconsin, what do you think? Cadbury.
I mean, probably the Cadbury eggs.
It is. I'm not lying
Has
to
to
you.
be.
Why would I tell you misinformation? I'm not the fake news. I'm all about real candy news.
Because the people of Wisconsin aren't lunatics, Brian. They're not going to
Well-
pick the Peep.
If you like Peeps and you live in the Midwest, the closest state to Wisconsin that prefers Peeps is Indiana.
That
And-
makes sense.
Well,
Yeah.
it does.
I'm gonna
Indiana's
leave
a
it at
strange
that.
place.
Yeah, and I usually don't align with Indiana, other than my love for the Jackson 5 and my need to see John Mellencamp this summer in concert. But maybe I go to Indiana next weekend, just sit in the field and eat Peeps. That would
Were
be
you
fun.
just in Indiana?
I drove through Indiana.
Okay.
'Cause I usually
you
don't
were in
stay there.
Michigan. Okay. Fair.
Yes, I was in Michigan. No, I got to listen. Indiana tries to trap you, though, because they want you, one, to eat Peeps, and two, they don't want you to get through quickly, so they do road construction every year nonstop.
This is true.
If you've never driven across, you may think I'm being a little exaggerating, or I'm
No.
exaggerating a little bit. I
They
am
want
not.
you to see. They want you to stop in traffic, see all the fireworks that are for sale, and eat some
Yeah.
garbage Peeps.
No, stop it. Listen, Peeps has released 3 new flavors. Parker, go out and get some of them. Pop-Tarts Frosted Strawberry Peeps.
Okay.
Chili Lime
All right.
Mango Peeps,
No.
and Sunny D Peeps. Now, the
No.
Chili Lime Mango chicks are
Yeah.
exclusively at Kroger. Sunny D, only available at Target. I'm old school. I go yellow, and I go the rabbits. Sometimes I go the chick, because interchangeable.
I feel like the chick is the Peep.
Yeah.
Yeah, but
I
then
thought
they
that's
went
why
to the
they're called
rabbits.
Peeps.
It's all the same. The chick and the rabbit. I'll go both. But here's the thing: I will have 1 box of them. That's it. That's for the season. Cadbury mini eggs I could eat and hoard until the end of time, and still not get enough.
I mean, yeah, because they're better.
They're better. The Cadbury mini eggs, not the cream eggs. I don't like the ooze. I never liked that bubble gum that squirted. I don't like that feeling. I don't like that
All right.
feeling.
On
you
that
know?
note,
Yeah, that's it. All right.
land the plane, Brian. After
Maybe-
that one,
Maybe
Brian Noonan doesn't like the oozing.
I don't like the oozing. That's the headline. Put that in your breakdown, AI. All right. Hopefully, Jamie's back tomorrow to curtail some of this craziness. But either way, Daybreak will return tomorrow. Have a wonderful day. Thank you for listening. Thanks for being part of the program. I'm Brian Noonan, and this is the Civic Media Network.
Not euphemism. And on that note, we will see you tomorrow live stream. Have
Bye,
a
live